Yeah, that's the other thing is I need to figure out how to join you on Twitch. I think, right?
Yeah, so we can. There should be a.
I can.
Oh, where is it? Collaborate. Yeah. There we are.
How did you do? Okay, you're gonna have to show me how to do that later because I'm. Stream together only supports Chrome and Firefox for now. We are expanding across. See, yeah, I knew this would happen. It opened that what you just sent me in a wrong browser. So I need so I need to like somehow make it open that in Chrome automatically because it automatically wants to open it not in Chrome.
Gotcha. I think it's just that you have it. You have Twitch open, not in Chrome or whatever.
No, Twitch. I only use Chrome. I mean, I only use Chrome for everything. Basically, I've never used whatever just the Microsoft one, which is what I'm pretty sure just opened.
All right, and then I gotta start a virtual camera. Done.
Yeah, Microsoft Edge for some reason. I need so is it you were in tech? How do you make this? How do you get rid of it being your default? Oh my god, this is annoying.
Copy the browser source URL below in any session you take part of. We'll display
I'm just gonna go in Chrome and I'm gonna look up how to do how to.
layer. Okay. Alright, and then I just go there. Alright, did that work?
Uh, no. I don't know. What do you mean? We're still.
Yeah, I did the creator overlay. Maybe I shouldn't have closed your browser.
It won't work. We just can't do it in that because as long as you send me an invite, it automatically opens it in the wrong browser. I can't do it. So like I have to figure out how to get it to automatically open in the right browser.
Can you go to mine instead? So if you click on here, I'm in your screen right now. And I'm cool with just doing audio. We don't need to share our
Yeah.
yeah, but if you go to my Twitch, if you try to do it from your side, let's see how that goes.
Okay, so if I go to Twitch, how do I go to video producers stream together?
Yeah, there's next to my name, there's knock as well. You can do that. There's stream together, learn below my name. So hopefully maybe it'll open up in the correct.
Okay, but where do I see your name? Do I like?
Did you click the link? Oh, sorry, I put the link to my stream in your chat in Twitch.
Okay, so let me go to my.
So
let me go. Yeah, let me click on that. So I see your stream. Let me pause that. The commercial. And then I go knock. Something went wrong. Please try again.
Click on the oh, you know, shit, I gotta update my about me. God damn it. Sorry. Yeah, so click on under my name, this string together. Are you able to do that?
It says streaming to. It says I don't know. I'm not sure. I clicked on knock and it says something went wrong.
Okay, try below that. There's streaming together. It's a blue. That's a hyperlink.
Okay, I clicked on that. Start streaming together. And it says, yeah. See, I'm not sure what's going on. It's.
Alright. Well, let's just stay on Discord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, let's see if I can.
So what I'm gonna have to do is somehow figure out why it wants to open everything in Microsoft Edge, because every once in a while Microsoft Edge finds a way to ask me a question in the wrong way, so I accidentally approve it, and then it becomes my default browser, which I never ever would do.
Alright, so I'm in my chat gonna put that I'm streaming with you. Oh wait, no, hold on. Never mind. Okay. I'm just gonna say I'm streaming together with you.
Okay. Should I say put that in my chat also, or?
Sure, because I already put my link in. You can just say, hey, I'm streaming to the artist.
So they should be able to hear both of us right now, because obviously.
Well, because I'm using desktop audio, so it should
yeah.
through OBS. So yeah, hopefully they can hear my voice. If not, we'll work through it.
Awesome.
But yeah, if you just put hey, I'm streaming to the artist first.
Streaming with Chewy. Let me see. Let me find your name so I can get it right. Yeah, that's crazy. I knew something would go wrong. I just didn't realize that. Man, that's so annoying that it keeps tricking me one way or another, and then like I have to set my Chrome to become my default again manually somehow. So I just haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what the trick is to get it to do it.
Yeah, I don't know, but this will work. It's really, people could jump back and forward. The only thing that happens with stream together is it would split our screens.
Yeah.
And it would combine our chat. So
yeah.
What are you gonna do? This works. I'm cool with just chatting. Honestly, I would on Fridays I do actually yeah. So Fridays we do stream together with I'm in an art lounge Discord. So a bunch of us get together, we just chat and draw art, and then we share our Discord.
Let me show you. I don't think I'm going to be giving any information away, but just to show you my setup really quick, I'll pull my drawing camera back so you can see like how I see my chat and all that. You see that what's in front of me right now?
Yeah.
So I can see there's the one chat and then there's the other chat right next to each other, and then there's my ultra. So I can see everything fine. It's just that I have two more monitors behind me, basically.
Oh, you have a full-on easel. I don't. So I'm just drawing at my desk.
I do. I could not. I don't know how you can do that for more than an hour. My neck would kill me if I did that.
So because I'm sitting up straight when I'm drawing, it keeps me from having back pain.
Yeah. Nice. So we were talking with some of my friends. I can't write at all. My friends can write better. We were sort of talking about doing a comic book, like a collaborative comic book kind of thing. And they've already had like some projects. So that they've actually executed on. So I'm kind of curious about, most of my friends you couldn't, execute any kind of thing with. But these guys, I think, can, and I worked with them at a job, or with them at like years and years ago. We worked at the same restaurant kind of thing, so I know these people. So we're kind of sort of half thinking about doing a comic book. I'll do all the art and kind of we'll riff on the ideas, and they'll do the writing, and we'll slap together some sort of product that will hopefully bring in some kind of passive income, That's sort of the game plan right now, and accepting commissions and streaming, and that's kind of where I'm at with my art career.
Yeah,
so
for me the plan is kind of art and activism. So I still have for my old job I have because active on LinkedIn I have 13,000 connections. So I'm going to use that for like education purposes, and just kind of like sharing the realities of the world we live in,
Uh-huh.
Blue Sky heavily
Okay. Yeah, I've never even heard of Blue Sky until I kind of started doing more of this, and um,
Yeah, it's blown up like crazy.
okay,
Yeah, there's a lot of artists, and it's the nice thing is it's really easy to spot scammers.
okay. Why is that?
Well, so you can there's if they don't have their bio filled out, if they only post stuff of their own, like they don't share anybody else.
Okay,
Um,
that sounds like my channel. It's unfinished, and I just post my own artwork on there.
yeah, so you gotta build a community to start sharing with folks. And honestly, we're artists, we're professionals, so we should share people we enjoy.
Okay.
That's kind of the way I approach it. Like, and some of the folks I've worked with are so incredible and talented. And like, I've gone into their chats and streams and stuff, and they're like, oh, this is Eric, and here's this, they have like a couple hundred viewers, and they'll share my shit, and that's how I get more viewers, and so it's basically, I like return the favor.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not super talented at the network. Like my social media, I don't get it, and it's never grown. Well, especially on like Twitter, I've never even had like, not just not any traction on it, but not even like a view. Like there's not even views sometimes accidentally on anything I post. So I don't get how you would grow, except for streaming is the only time I've ever had any kind of traction on anything. That's why I kind of like it because at least there's something can happen. But I don't understand how you can like grow organically on like Instagram. Literally, like I'll post something, and I'll have, like I said, just zero people externally looking at my artwork. It's only the people that are already kind of signed up, and a lot of that was me just boosting my own post with my own money back when I had a job. Now I don't do that because I'm not spending money on that. Um,
Yeah, so you really do have to engage with social media, and you can't. It has to be diverse as well. So don't just post art. Post about other shit going on in your life, because that lets people know you're real as well. Because if you're just posting art, it's like, well, this is just an advertising account, and it's you're not going to get much in the way of engagement.
Right, but I mean, if there's nobody that's watching that, like now my Instagram had like it seems like because people have been funneling through the stream, I'll notice the people like coming on board through those things. But before, like it's hard to make people think it's real or not real if nobody's watching anything you're posting. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
and I think one of the things that ruined my channel was when I started doing like motorcycle stuff, and I rebuilt an engine and redid this GS 1100G, and I think it like messed up the algorithm, and like it kind of put a dead stop to the channel's growth from that on, and it just like zero people. Even now, even though I have like 3,000 followers on Instagram, and I'll get like I don't know 70 likes or something. It just like it does not show it to new people. And I think what messed it up was me posting like about motorcycles for any time. It just confused the algorithm.
No. You need to. I would honestly focus more on Blue Sky. All those other sites are all fucked from algorithms, and Blue Sky is literally user generated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, definitely post your motorcycle stuff. I mean, absolutely. That's going to grow people just wanting to join with you. And then when you post your art stuff, they go, "Oh shit, that's cool too." And then when you share other artists' work, that's magnifying your exposure as well. So you you do have to put in the time and the socials, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think like for me the streaming works the best because people get to know you, and then like they already know who you are. Like if they go like on your YouTube, like I got my link to my Insta, and so they
Yeah.
kind of already kind of know what's up, and so from there they can kind of bounce to that different experience of like doing the Yuri experience, but they're just watching the completed works or my stories, because not everyone's gonna want to sit there and watch you draw. But like they will once in a while, but it's not gonna be a huge, the main juice. I think for most people, it's gonna be kind of rare, unless they are drawing themselves and they got you in the background. They're not gonna watch you draw. Um,
Well, I literally invite everybody uh, onto my stream when I do commissions.
that's kind of what I did with my, like, when I'm doing the Dramaria stuff. The people that hired me watch me and they talk to me on there, so I don't have any issues with like developing the ideas while they're watching, and or giving their input while I'm watching. Now I think that can maybe be a problem down the road. Like, let's say you get I don't know, an employer that's like they're just like constantly going, hey, can you make the whisker go to the left a little? It's just, I could see that becoming an issue, but so far it's worked out really well, and I actually like the dynamic of like if you have like good customers, like they just love what you're doing and they're just like keep going. It's like it's great. But so far it's worked out really well.
Yeah, I'm not that concerned about it. So far, yeah, the clients have been great. And uh, with bad clients, you find out pretty early,
Yeah.
so you can fire them. And don't be afraid to fire bad clients. By the way, um, your your mental health is more important than the paycheck.
Usually the bad clients also don't really like to pay. Like they're like, the cheaper they are, the worse it is. Kind of. Now I'm not. I don't know. For me, and I'm just talking about like because most of my commissions have come from like people I've known, and
Yeah,
I've run into people that like they they. I've charged people like insanely low prices before, and they couldn't. And because I know they don't really have money. You know what I mean? They work at like some call center or whatever. They only have like, they're either gonna pay you $25 or they're going to buy a video game, and they're more likely to buy a video game. So for them, it's a huge deal. And so I would do it, and then they would be like, you'd be done, and they're like, so can we make like changes? And I'm like, no, no. Like we're like 25 hours in. Like there's no, I don't know. Like and I'm charging like insane, like just super friend prices basically. Like it's only because I know they can't afford anything else, kind of thing. And those end up being like, just insanely long experiences where you just are like, wow, I'm never doing that again. Um, but yeah, there's definitely, I think the skill of making money is like different than drawing. Like the people who make money,
yeah.
they got a different skill set, which I don't have. I'm really bad at it. Sorry, I've been rambling for like ever. Go ahead. I gotta stop talking.
No, you're fine. Yeah, again, it's a skill like anything else. Um, Shit, this dog I have drawing is got, I think, cataracts. I'm gonna look for some reference photos. That's one thing. If you're doing portraits, you're doing the best version of something. So, erase
Hmm.
wrinkles, clean up stuff. Don't copy exactly what you see.
Right. Yeah. I think that the trick with portraits is you have to like if it's a person, you gotta spice it up. You gotta make them like 15% better looking than what they are, um,
Absolutely.
because you don't want to show them reality. Because then they would just take a photo, right? If they wanted to
Yeah.
see.
No, they want their best selves,
Why?
basically.
No, no, no. They want to believe that you just drew what you saw, when in reality you are spicing it up a little bit, right? Like you got to make it like a little bit better than what they actually look like. And that's somebody, I can't remember who told me that first, and I was like, initially I was very much like didn't believe in that, but now I do. I was like, no, you gotta make it. You gotta draw the truth, Like, but it's like, no, you can't just draw the truth. You gotta like make it palatable for people.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I don't. What do you think it's harder to get into like being a creature designer or something where you're like a concept kind of artist versus like a portrait? Like, what is the easiest way to make money fastest? Um, if that
I
question makes.
mean, I'm. I would caution against that. Playing that game, like chasing the algorithms or chasing the dollars, because um, you end up drawing stuff you don't want to.
Sure.
So I really enjoy drawing pet portraits.
Okay.
So like that's my wheelhouse. I'm gonna do occasional, pieces that aren't, but like that'll just be for me. Like I did the labyrinth worm thingy, and that was just I needed to draw that for fun. So yeah, don't ever chase the algorithms, or you're gonna hate your art.
Mm-hmm. I think you're absolutely right. Um, in that you don't want to get stuck because once you get going in a direction, it's hard to get out of that direction. And if you get known
Yep.
for that, then you're kind of stuck there. So definitely some.
Always always draw what you're passionate about. Most important.
Yeah.
And mix it up. Don't be afraid to mix it up. Again, so I did that mosquito. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, it was funny. Yep.
So that was just like out of rage.
Oh, for
I was
Elon.
drawing out of hate.
Oh, for Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so, but yeah, that's not what I normally do. But I gotta be able to express myself as an artist. So, I kind of, for lack of a better word, the prime off the audience to expect some weird shit. And it's like, they don't have to watch my stuff every time, but like, hey, there's gonna be some stuff that's different, and I just need them to be aware of that.
Okay.
But yeah, don't like you said. You did some sort of character, like a Warhammer or something
Uh,
that got a lot of traction.
I did. I forgot what I was saying. I did a Warhammer. Was it something I said yesterday?
Yeah,
I probably said something along the lines of, "Oh no, it was a Fallout protector run, and
yeah,
that did really well. But usually it doesn't, and but yeah, I don't know. I need to start doing more fan art. I think of like just popular things like that.
absolutely. But things you enjoy. So like again, the worm from Labyrinth. Just I love that fuck. I watched the movie and I'm like, at the one point in the movie, he goes, Carrie come in for a spot of tea, and it was like, what would his house look like? So that's kind of where that started.
Yeah,
So
I
so is Fallout your jam? I mean, I love the games.
I like a lot of things, and the other day, like I saw on Steam, they had a sale for Alice Madness Returns, I think it's called, and it was like 99 cents.
Oh,
So I
love
picked it
that
up.
game.
And I actually remember that game playing it on the original Xbox, I think it was, and I actually didn't like it. And now I'm totally in love with it. I think my taste has changed from because it does have like kind of a girly aesthetic a little bit with the butterflies,
Yeah,
but I think I can like it has enough of a creep factor and things are dark enough to where like now that weirdness like really works for me. Whereas I was more strictly like when I was younger, probably more like everything needed to be like Gears of War. You know what I mean? Or it
I
wasn't
got you.
cool. Um, but this is now like I'm playing through it again. Just gonna.
Wait, I'm sorry. Quick question: Madness Returns or the original?
I think it's a newer one. It's the newer one.
Yeah, where she it's a platformer. You
Yeah.
got the teacup.
You got teacups. You got all kinds of monsters. You can become very small. You got a like a
Yeah.
kitchen knife kind of thing going on. Um,
So on that game, listen to the audio cues is vitally important for finding stuff because
okay. Well, I know you got to look for
you're
the flying pigs, and you got to shoot them down and stuff.
yeah. Well, you'll hear them. You can hear the findables. So uh, the little like houses and stuff. All the memories.
Okay.
They make an audible noise when you get near them, so you can hear them through walls.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you want to make sure you're keeping track of because that'll help you find some of the stuff there. But yeah, I completed it fully, and yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of the game. I did play the America McGee, the one that was previous to that. And that one was really good too.
Yeah, I didn't play the original one. But or whatever whatever one was in before that one, I didn't play it, but That
Yeah,
one was a little bit.
that is very good. I highly recommend.
Okay.
And that one's, I mean, they're all creepy, but yeah. How far are you in the game?
I literally just played like an hour or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna get real fucking dark.
It seems like it's already pretty dark. I really, you know what
Oh no, just
I
wait.
really enjoy the you've played the Resident Evil Village.
No, I don't like most horror games because it's the controls are purposely annoying
Oh,
for
okay.
me most
So,
of the
but
time.
we'll get back to the. I agree, sort of. But there's this idea that they've been putting into the Resident Evil. They have like these giant people. Like they have like I don't know. You find like a guy who sells you stuff, and he's just sort of abnormally large. Like
Yeah, I've watched playthroughs. So
and
like
yeah
the
and
oh
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, and that concept for some reason that creep factor of some like they don't explain it. He just is large, and it's sort of weirdly creepy, and it's that weird creepiness that I kind of been enjoying lately. And this game has that too. Is that they'll have you meet this first lady, right? She's like cooking something, and she's like has that overwhelming size kind of thing, like almost putting you
Lady
in as like a
Demis Drew
child.
or whatever.
I'm sorry.
Is that Lady Demis Drew or whatever? The vampire goth big titty lady?
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but she was. I remember her cooking something. But I just that making those characters that aren't necessarily like they don't look demonic, they're just big and weird looking. It's sort of a I don't know why, but I like that as a creepy character now, like that type of just making them big. I don't know, but
Gotcha.
yeah, as far
And
as the Resident Evil games, I've never been like I'm okay with them, but I've never been a huge fan of that whole thing. But yeah, the Resident Evil Village I thought was really good. I did enjoy that one quite a bit.
all right, so I got to talk to the owner. I don't know if they're on stream yet.
Gotcha.
But the dog has the dog. I'm doing a drawing of has pretty bad cataracts in it, so I'm eliminating those.
Yeah,
So I hope they're okay with that.
I would be.
Yeah, because you know what does the dog? The doggies clear eyes. It's a memorial piece for her husband, and they lost him. Lost a puppy. His name's King. They lost him recently.
Okay.
Yeah, so far I've done 40 some pet portraits, and I am not tired of it at all.
Right. Yeah. I every time I feel a little bit down and I'm like I don't feel like streaming or drawing today, I just remember how bad it was to um how much I hated manufacturing for 10 years. I did that. And I laid in bed this morning. I actually slept in quite a bit, and I remember like before I went to sleep, I viscerally remembered how much I hated like that feeling of like having just 2 days off, and then you just have to like spend your whole week 12 hours, 12-hour shifts, um, being there, and it that's definitely been propelling me to just keep going because I don't know if I will make it honestly. Like there hasn't been a huge amount of money so far. I'm
Yeah.
basically slowly going down financially, but it's been a good ride so far. So hopefully
Well,
yeah.
your talent alone for your art, should you need to be discovered essentially. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
once that happens, once you find the right, basically you just gotta find the right audience,
Yeah.
and then these streams are helpful. So like the hardest thing is to gain audience when you're new because you don't have people interacting, so you got to fill the time with something. So I just chat about exactly what I'm doing, like oh this is why I'm doing this, and oh this technique is this, and it helps at least occupy the time, and it's not just dead air. And I noticed you have a bit of dead air. And it's hard. same time don't. It just doesn't bother me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to just kind of chat about nothing, and you know,
But so if nobody's
at the
talking
same
to you,
time.
you'll still be talking, or
Exactly, yeah. So I'm giving them updates on what I'm doing. And you know, I gotta put up the reference photo for this dog. Sorry, I just realized I had that reference photo.
I basically decided to go with kind of like I don't talk the entire time, but if people are talking, I talk kind of thing. And
Gotcha. Yeah, no. See, because people aren't gonna talk if you don't talk. So
yeah, but some people do talk. And you know what? I figure like once you get like three or four of these talkers coming in, it's totally chill because now they keep you going. And then once I start riffing, it seems like they start. You know what I mean? And I think that's just like to me, it's like it seems like it's eventually going to fill up with people who are going to be talking. Now, some people do only talk once you get going, and you're right. Like it is better to talk if you want them to talk, but there are people who will come in and just get things going, and that's kind of where I riff off of. And if there is no talking going on, I'm also okay with that to just kind of chill out and not because I don't always feel like talking. There are some days like I literally just rather be just drawing in a dark kind of thing. But I'll get on stream and I'm like sometimes once this talking starts I get into it. But it is what it is. That's just my psychological inclination. I don't always feel like talking basically. Um,
yeah, well, I mean, streaming is this is entertainment as well
mhm.
as art. So my thought is, the streamers I enjoy are the ones that are talking. That's why I'm watching them. And I want to learn techniques as well. That's why I watch most of the art I do. So like I watch a shit ton of Warhammer painters. I don't draw Warhammer, I don't play it, but like their techniques are fucking incredible when it
Right.
comes to painting. And especially, I think partially because none of them were classically trained, so they come up with techniques that, if you were a traditional artist, you'd be like, oh, that's weird. I would never have approached it that way. One of my favorites is it's called the Vallejo shading. So when you have a Warhammer mini, they'll paint it all black for the primer, and then they'll aim the spray can from up above or airbrush, and they aim white, and they'll go and it does immediate highlights and shadow.
Like volumetric lighting basically.
Yeah, and so like I don't know if you've ever painted that shit, but like if you're painting a red or
Let
orange
me
or
let me show you
yellow,
really quick. I'll show you what I've been painting lately. But I'm not a professional painter or anything. But
okay,
this is I didn't do what you're talking about. This is the guy I'm painting right now, and I haven't really been able to get back to him. He's gonna be like white with some brown on his like this kind of stuff. I do really like painting this kind of stuff.
yeah. So I've done a shit ton of that. I should probably get my guys out, but I did D&D.
Okay.
Or excuse me, I do D&D. So we did tabletop back in the day. So that's where my painting of creatures came from.
Okay.
But yeah, I learned a whole bunch of techniques from them. One of the handiest one was a handle for drawing your minis. Get a length of um, dowel rod, like a 1 inch diameter, about 2 inches in height, and then you can hot glue gun the mini onto it. And when you want to take it off, you use a eyedropper with rubbing alcohol, and it immediately pops the hot glue off.
Okay.
So that's extreme. Because I mean, you see that I use these holders on my pencil. I got to do that because I got big stupid sausage fingers.
Oh, I didn't even see that until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, these are for children. These are foam. They're just little foamy dealies that you can use for when children are learning to write.
Okay.
I
And did you always draw like as a hobby, or how did that happen? Like, was it just something you did?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so my mom, she was a fine artist,
Okay. Yeah. Same
and
here. Same here.
and then her dad as well. So it was we grew up doing art. I mean, it was we obviously enjoyed it. It was never pressured for it, but it was just we had access to it. We enjoyed it. It was just something we did as a family. So I've worked in like every media there is, um, from a very early age. So I had that advantage. But I graduated graphic design, and I managed to do it for about 2 years, 2.5, 3 years. But it was all just horrible shit jobs. Like I did textbook uh, typesetting. It was fucking soul crushing. Because the market was just shit, so I couldn't, get any of the cool jobs. But you never can. Graphic design is just it's the fucking cruel mistress that never delivers.
Hmm.
You got to do your own shit. So I eventually just said, fuck it. I got out of the industry altogether, and then I've been, doing the streaming thing for a couple of months. But I had 20 years of IT recruiting. Is kind
Yeah.
of what kept the lights on. And at this point, I got enough money to give this a shot.
That's kind of where I'm at, and sort of really glad I don't have kids or anything, because it would I don't know if I'd be able to ever leave if I went down the road of having, making a family and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I'm really glad that I am in it. But even if this doesn't work out and I just spend the next 2 years streaming into the void and nothing comes out of it, I still
You tried.
I try. Yeah, I have to be honest about, because I can always go to a forklift, or God only knows, maybe I won't be able to go back to any kind of a job like that. Maybe everything will be automated in 2 years. Not likely. There's the bottleneck of manufacturing is a lot harder than people think to replace people with robots. Like, if you've ever worked with technology that moves, and it's really difficult. But you're just
Yeah,
gonna
humans are still better than AI. It's just too
Well, just these robots. I mean, I used to work in a plant where you had to submerge like half your body into the water, and be very articulate about what you did physically under the water. And so I'm imagining one of these robots that they're showing off, and I'm like, they're not there yet, or and even trucking, things that seem like they would be automatable. You listen to the people who run companies, delivery companies, and they're like, yeah, we're not close yet. But again, I've been shocked before. We could all be wrong. There could be some breakthrough technologically that just kind of connects the dots. But I think we're safe in terms of there's just too big of a bottleneck for manufacturing these droids, even if they become competent. That we got another, they say, 20 years before realistically, like, a normal guy can't go back to like a warehouse or something, or some manufacturing job.
Yeah, but like, let's not. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, if you want to replace me, okay, I'm going to do art.
Yeah.
I think, AI can't. Uh, it can do photorealism, sure, but it cannot do what we do. It cannot create from the ether. Like I've out of curiosity thrown prompts at to AI, and I don't share any of it because this is just for my own enjoyment. I think that's really what AI should be. It's like, well, this is your own enjoyment. It's nobody else gives a shit about you clicking a fucking button.
I don't know if I've showed you this before, but I had that one thing I wanted AI to do was to be able to. I was trying to get it to animate my images, basically,
Oh,
for my reels, but I couldn't really reliably do it, and I wish I knew where I saved. I think I showed it on stream one time. Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it quickly, but uh, yeah, like,
you're fine.
it would have been cool to take an image and tell it to, like, just and kind of animate this, and post it with some music as a reel, and that would have been sweet. But it's just so unreliable that it's basically kind of a waste of time.
Yeah. So, like, what I would enjoy as an AI would be like, I have an idea for book, movie, whatever. Here it is. Show me it, and then I get to enjoy that.
Okay.
But I have no desire to like watch somebody else's creation of AI.
Did you see that video of they made Doom in procedurally generated? It was like 20 FPS per second, and it's basically the same thing as like all these image generators, but it's running a game based on all the footage it's seeing. And it does have some spatial memory, like it'll remember a dead body in a room or something like that. But it's basically AI running a game at 20 FPS a second, or yeah. I don't know if you saw that tech demo. That I think it was Google that did it. I'm not really sure, but regardless, it does seem like things are moving quite quickly in that direction. Or even more interesting is like when they run a game, but they put the skins. The AI is generating the skins and making it look photorealistic. It's that's kind of that was intense to see. Um, so I don't even know. And the reason I'm doing streaming is I figure I do think our profession will be done at some point. Like it'll just do it better and faster. The AI will.
Maybe.
But what I think will be the savior for us is like the same reason like some people watch YouTube channels where like some old guy fixes radios, right? And I think it'll be the same nostalgic factor of watching an artist actually draw something, and they'll just watch it for that reason. Like I literally am betting on that. It's just hopefully there'll be enough humans that like you know they'll nostalgia watch artists kind of thing.
I'm more confident than you.
Okay.
Just because camera obscura in the Renaissance was going to eliminate artists. Photography was going to eliminate artists. It's just a tool, and we're the ones that are going to figure out how to use it best and make it conclusion.
Okay.
It's just kind of the way that art works. The fun, so I time lapse myself. So on OBS, you're able to create a filter so it can record one camera. So I have my art camera recording separate from my screen, OBS, and I use that to then later develop the time lapse.
Okay, so explain. Repeat that one more time. You said you're getting your so like my main camera that's taking that's recording the guy here, right?
I got a scanner.
Oh yeah, if you set up SiriBot, it automatically gets rid of that.
And
I don't. Have you looked into SiriBot?
I'm
Okay, it'll get rid of a lot of these like little pest people like really quickly because they already have information on them and they just automatically bans them or whatever.
gotcha.
Yeah.
The dog owner is coming to the street. So.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Yeah, King is so. I hope a little artistic license. I've removed his cataracts, just because I know he wanted to. He would like to have his eyes like clear, crystal, like they were. So, yeah, you'll see as I draw a little more. I'm kind of giving him some youth. Sorry about that. I had to ban use. And yeah, we'll do the giant wing. Um, so the owner of the dog, I don't know if you've looked at him stream at all. He's wearing a wonderfully hilarious, monstrous, thing like a Halloween wig on a headband.
Yeah, I got your stream up.
Yeah, that's why I chose this photo. Luckily, most people like see my work and how silly it is at times, and they want that.
Okay.
So and I did some of my most uh, popular works have been in that, where I've one was a pit bull that I found online that really didn't like that the owner got a um, divider for the back seat, so it was pushing with all of its might against it and smushing its face up. And that one didn't exterminate well. So she did. Actually, false local. Is that how you found me? Was it the pit bull drawing that I did? Kind of curious. And that's another thing. And sorry, should I call you Foros or?
My you can I think I got my real name on Instagram, so you might as well just call me. My name's Yuri.
Yuri.
The reason
Okay.
I did Nicephorus is because Nicephor was taken, and Nicephorus is like an older Greek version of that last name before it got Russified by the Russians, and so I was just trying to. I don't know. I'm not good at coming up with like online names, so I was just trying to use like a shorter version of my last name, which is Nikiforao. So it's like so that's kind of how I ended up there. But yeah, my name is just Yuri in real life. But
Awesome. I'm Eric. My account is hidden. I have I posted it on LinkedIn, so I really don't anticipate any separation. Whatever. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's coming along nicely so far. He's a very cute pup. But yeah, I think if you do more fan art, I mean your originals are fantastic. Don't want to ever fucking stop that. Excuse my language, false. If you want me to go PG, let me know. I can certainly do that. That is in my abilities. But yeah, your originals are fantastic. Don't ever stop doing those. But yeah, add in some fan art, and then are you tagging it appropriately?
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm doing the hashtags or whatever. I'm sure I'm not always doing it. Uh,
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure there's some things to be improved on.
Okay.
Um,
So and then so one of the watchers, the commission, their 8-year-old daughter is watching. So we could watch language. I'm guilty of that. So and you've been good. You haven't said anything. I'm just requesting.
oh, okay, no, we're good. I try not. I decided early on not to make a super edgy like channel, and I just
No.
don't. But I mean, not to say I never will. I'm just saying normally I don't. But yeah, it's totally cool.
So some of my stuff is a little like my yesterday stream was pretty not friendly, and I try to appropriately, um, warn before anybody comes in.
Right.
I'm in a mood today. So yes, for false local, your 8-year-old, that's sometimes language, and it's for adults when we're out of words to say. And yeah, it's fun sometimes, but you got to learn how to navigate life without swearing. And you get used to it if you just swear all the time. So you just kind of work on trying not to, and it just you get better at it. So in my corporate life, I try not to at all, um, just because you never know how folks are going to react. So
that is the huge advantage of working in manufacturing. You definitely get away with more in that environment. If you're into that kind of thing, but yeah, you definitely get a little bit more freedom on the floors. To say stuff.
yeah, no, and I try to find the words to express myself without swearing as well. But, sometimes, yeah, it's just something you're feeling. And yeah, false. Again, ask all the questions you want. Talking really does help me kind of focus. I have ADHD, and I don't know why, but like when I have something else I'm working on at the same time, it just kind of helps me focus.
I think I'm a one shot. Like the more focused I am on one thing, the other side of my brain just kind of slowly starts to shut down. Like when I get really engrossed in something, I notice I'll
Hmm.
just stop talking. I can only really do like one thing. Well, I can talk and draw, but one of them will get significantly worse. My brain just automatically puts the other side of my brain to sleep. Basically, is kind of how
Hmm.
I think things work for me.
Nah, for me and the ADHD, it's I it can like talking allows my brain to like slow down and focus and not be so occupied. It's just my brain's uh, a collection of mentally handicapped bees that bump into each other, and when I can give them enough attention, they can actually accomplish something. At least that's the way it feels.
Right.
But I was non-medicated for years, so I've, found ways to focus without medication and stuff. And recently got no diagnosis and medication and stuff, and found that like I really don't like being on it, um, and really only need it for like work situations.
I do you mind saying like what the diagnosis was? Like what is your thing that what
Yeah, it's
DLC did you come
ADHD.
with?
Yeah, it's I gotta look up the exact.
Because I've always just been like anti medication in that I was always terrified of doing that because I'm like, well, what? I just don't think. I don't know. It just that seemed like really. I try to stay away from all that, but for the fear of I just don't even know
Fear dependence or whatever. Yeah.
fear
So,
of
so attention deficit hyperactive disorder combined type F90.2. So I did this online. It was like $200 for the evaluation and stuff. So that wasn't cheap. But it's a really long questionnaire, and I took it as seriously as I possibly could, and I was fully open. So it was like open book. I want to know for sure. So, but yeah, it's so,
okay.
but yeah, it's very interesting. Um, I was diagnosed as a kid, and unfortunately, in the '80s, um, they the answer for that was to medicate the shit out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, medicate the heck out of everybody. My parents sort of just didn't want that, so they're like, we're gonna not do that.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm not.
and I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not.
I would see. It's this is the kind of area where I'm not even sure we're allowed to talk because it's like sort of medicine related or whatever, and I want to be careful about what I say. But I generally would not like because I just don't understand how
Well,
they could.
you can just, this is your own experience, your own life, and what you want to do. Like,
Yeah,
so
it seems I don't know. I would
as long as you don't begrudge other people of the medication, that's fine.
Yeah, just
Like,
like I said, I normally I would advise most people not to even drink coffee or beer for the most part. You know what I mean? Like I would advise. I totally. Now I am drinking coffee here, and I do drink. I do drink beer once in a while. I'm just saying, all of that stuff is all a negative in my opinion. Everything that you put that's not species appropriate food for humans is gonna have a negative impact. But I do enjoy coffee and beer once in a while. I'm just saying, especially with like medication, I'm just like, I can't imagine that they did enough research to like know what's going to happen to your brain long term, and that's why I'm like, I don't know. That seems real sketch. Um,
so yeah, I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But it helps a lot of folks, so I would never
sure.
presume to, you know,
All I'm saying is like I would personally exhaust every option before I went to any kind of medication kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, and I was non-medicated for so many years as well, so
And
I
so
kind of
what
I
was
think I
that?
well,
Is it just hard to focus on one thing, or is it what's?
yeah. So I shift constantly. So like when I'm trying to work, it's just like, oh, did you ever see the movie Up?
Is that where there's like balloons in a house or something?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So it's the perfect example. So there's the talking dog named Doug, and he's just like, "Hi, my name is Doug. I've been given a collar to talk to you. I am a good boy. Squirrel!" So my brain squirrels all the time to
Mm-hmm.
where it's just something else grabs my attention, and that is so yeah, it's tough to focus. So, um, but yeah, that's what ADHD feels like to me. It's the constant just attention of everything else is is just it takes over. So
I think I've always felt that way. Not so much recently, but I've always like actually. Well, even now, if I'm reading something for a long time, my brain just shuts down. Like it's like walking uphill with weights on. It's just mentally exhausting, and I don't care. And like I have to really force myself to to get that to work. I have to be really interested. But in math, things like that of that nature, I can draw all day. But those things are they just shut my brain down, and I don't know if that's sort of mild version of that or if that's just natural. That's a lot of people don't like that activity. Um, I don't know, but
so all right, that was wrong. Yeah, ADHD is it I so my deal is ADHD is very helpful in a hunter gatherer community. It's evolved over millions of years to be very effective. It's just not terribly handy in today's, you know, manufactured world.
mm-hmm.
So, we need, sometimes people need help. All right, I don't like that. Sorry. One thing I love about pencils, I can erase. All right, this goes down. Sorry. And I do have to talk to myself
No, you're good.
through art, like, this doesn't work right, so I gotta. And it's especially important when you got dogs with different patterns. But like, they did experiments on folks with ADHD using VR, where they gave them like berry gathering tasks, and they test ADHD and non ADHD folks. And ADHD folks constantly scored way higher on the amount of gathering they were able to do. So we were probably the gatherers of the tribe.
Okay.
And then, when we became a modern society, that was just not as in demand, so we had to shift over.
Right. What do you think the evolutionary need for art is? If we're looking at from the standpoint of what would explain the need to sit there and jot down pictures for hours for like what would be the because like it had to have derived from some need from some selection process right in the past. What do you think that came from?
Um, so I'm gonna probably assume that uh, it came out of our language. Language is so integral, and I just think it's another way to communicate, just visually. So I think they use similar parts of the brain as well. But yeah, that's kind of where I think that language and art are just kind of mixed. It's just we're using a different medium. And we probably did hand signals before we could speak,
Mm-hmm.
before we actually had the physical ability to speak. So, you know,
But
and I think art also served another purpose. Like if you look at all the cave paintings, they're all of game. it was literally because hunter gatherers they didn't live really in caves. They used caves, but caves are dry. I'm sorry, they're wet, they're dank, they're awful. They're really not a good place to live. But they're permanent. So what I think is hunter gatherers they migrate all over huge ranges. They get to a place and then they would use like cave paintings to describe the environment. So like what was the game in the area? So you had hyper accurate cave art
Mm-hmm.
in these caves, that were like, hey, this is we're there's antelopes in this area. Oh, there's this animal, this animal. So it was just, you know, showing the people that were maybe not even that generation. It was the next generation that like, oh, here is this is what the food is available here, um, and just kind of passing it down. So I think that's really kind of why art was so important to our ancestors, and then communication as well.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, can't say I have
I
like
have no proof of any of this.
right. Yeah, we're just
This is all postulation.
yeah. It's I also kind of pretty much on the same kind of plane with that thinking. I think it's or maybe it's just a sufficiently complex enough animal will start to do that on automatically just to occupy the brain with because to get to new ideas you need the brain to be like sort of you need the time to ponder and things of that nature to kind of come up with newer ideas. So I think that's just what a sufficiently complicated brain will automatically just start doing in its free time. So I think artwork
Well, I mean,
it's it's a way to get to an idea without necessarily having every single point you know thought out in the scientific terms, but you're just kind of imagining how things could be, and then you eventually connect the dots through.
well, and you don't need to speak my language to look at my art and understand what I'm getting across. It's the universal language. So that's a huge piece of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I draw an antelope. You know what an antelope is.
Right.
Like here's antelope. You gotta hit it right behind the front leg to get the best shot. You know, and that could be, that was probably their school. Like, here's the animals we got here. This is where you shoot them. Because it was always hunting, and the human drawings were so simple comparatively. So I really do think it was the language of hunting, and what was available from a menu standpoint on the cave walls. Like, hey, we're in this new area, and this is the animals available.
You think it was just sort of putting together a quick synopsis of the environmental dangers and kind of thing?
Yeah, and like the menu. I think that's quite simply how cave paintings were. This is available here. This is not. This is where you shoot them. And it was extremely helpful to be as accurate as possible.
Right.
Now, is that an OC drawing, or is it from a particular?
I'm just drawing trooper guys. I've had this idea because I've always been a fan of the movie Starship Troopers. Uh, I guess the guy on the left here could be from Doom or something. Looks like a lot like that one creature from Doom, but I like just drawing generic kind of stuff like that too, where I'm just like totally turning my brain off. I'll just automatically just go into drawing like little troopers and like bugs and stuff. That's sort of like where my brain defaults to. But
Gotcha. Yeah, and false local. So I'm chatting with Yuri. He's another streamer, and we're just collabing and talking about art and to keep each other company while we draw. So, and yeah, just interrupt, ask questions. You're all good. All right. Actually, this dog's finish a drawing, you post it, like, oh man, I'm really happy with this, and then you see somebody else's artwork, you're like, oof, I suck.
I've had instances where I was like convinced the work was gonna do like fantastic, and
Oh
then
yeah.
and then it just was like it just didn't. Well, not didn't, but like it seemed like I poured a lot of energy into some things, and then they just kind of didn't go anywhere. And then other times I'll do something way more simple, and it'll do way better. So it is interesting how that kind of game plays out. You just gotta keep kind of going, and then Uh, hopefully things kind of the overall trend will be in the upward direction kind of thing. So I
Well,
try not to overly obsess about the performance of one individual thing anymore. Um,
no, and again, I learned do what you're passionate about, and 'cause you can't. Again, the algorithms are dumb. People don't know what they want. Just draw what you want and what you like,
mm-hmm.
and let the algorithms worry about themselves. Like that's the Facebooky garbage.
Right. Yeah, I think ever since, like, in general, if ever since like, quit my job basically, and then started doing this, like, kind of doing any commission I can find, doing streaming, doing Instagram, like, actively, it all just sort of starts to grow a little bit at a time, one way or the other. Even if the algorithms aren't picking you up, even if this and that, you will sort of see. I mean, if that's what you're doing all day, you're on the internet, you're talking to people, you're trying to, you're doing commissions. Even if you're making like almost no money, things will grow. You know what I mean? Whereas when I was doing, working and doing posting a picture like once every, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, it's hard to get any kind of traction going because you're just not. You're basically way too distracted with your job. Like you're too tired to really put a lot of meaningful effort into your work by the time you're done with your 4 12-hour shifts kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's we're in the same boat as far as that goes. In terms of trying to make it, there was nothing in me that was like that where I thought like and they asked me, they're like, well, what are you gonna do? Because I was making decent money and stuff like that, and I'm like, I told them honestly, I'm like, I'm gonna go try to make money drawing and streaming. Like that's exactly what I told them, and I'm, put my 2 weeks in, and because the thing before I would always be held together with fear, because it is kind of like you don't really want to kind of burn through all your money in a few years to go back to zero at like 37. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I'm
so.
47.
I'm sorry.
I'm 47.
Oh no, I'm 34. So it's like if this fails through, then I kind of have to start over financially, which is fine. You know what I mean? Which is it's fine. But at least I'll feel a lot better that I gave this a shot.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I would be I was getting, I don't want to say depressed, but I was kind of like I didn't care about the money at all. Yeah,
I'm impressed.
yeah, and just the dread. The amount of I didn't mind doing the work. It's just the amount of time you spend there. You can't really get like the last 3 months that I've been drawing consistently. My skill level has gotten up a lot just because I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours at least a day, up to 7. So it's kind of like obviously you're gonna start growing way faster. So that's another thing is that I want to see where could I be in like 5 years if I just do nothing but not to say I don't play video games or something like that here and there, but I'm just saying like I'm primarily doing drawing all day, so it's like and learning about social media and obviously we're doing a collab now, so it sort of starts to kind of grow once you're all in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you kind of just have to be like, oh, I'm gonna do it. But for me, I had to have I spent 20 some years in IT recruiting and you know purchase house and whatever. And but I had to do that to have at least in my mind enough buffer to give this a shot. And then yeah, I've been pretty much for the past 6 months doing it. But there's never been a time where I didn't do art though.
yeah, art was always like a thing that I did. Yeah, I even now like there's things like I've been meaning to like learn Blender, but I always kind of went back to just traditional art. I just like it, and that's all there is to it. I just like doing it. I just something about it. I keep coming back to do.
So I have to have a reason for that. So like I learned 3D design Tinkercad because of 3D printing,
Okay.
and I wanted to design something. So Tinkercad's like super easy, but also for my graphic design background, I have a lot of Photoshop experience.
Okay.
So the basics are like very similar. So I was able to pick it up like super quick because it kind of just behaves just like the Photoshop and Illustrator. So, and I just had to think of it in an extra dimension, which I just was able to do. So, all right. So that's my first pass. Oh, I kind of block out the subjects, and then I blend it from using blending sticks. And I don't ever clean up my blending sticks; they're all like quite dirty because I also draw with blending sticks. And that's one of the reasons why I get my speed is drawing is so high because I kind of take a painterly approach.
Okay.
So
The
yeah,
my my last commission went really fast, which I was surprised because like when I was doing the one before that, it seemed like it took me forever. I just couldn't like finish it, and sometimes they go really fast, which worries me. But it's been performing really well, so like I know I did it. I don't know. You ever have that where things kind of go really well and it worries you, like. It's
a
like
little
this
bit.
a little, yeah, a little too smoothly. Things usually like I have to squeeze it out, and it just went a little too well. So I was like a little
So
worried.
the worst I've ever had was it was just a bad photo. There wasn't any detail. The lighting was not good. I should have asked for another photo. And it was oh god, that was just I was fighting it the entire time.
Yeah,
Eventually, I got it, but like oof, that was rough, man. Like there's nothing wrong with asking for better photos.
right. Yeah, I
Like this one's nice and clear. I can see his face. I can see all the details.
see.
It's a dog, so sometimes you're not gonna get everything in focus.
It's hard. I think for me, I have had people like one time somebody asked me to draw a dog or something like a portrait of a dog, and I politely declined because that's not what I do. And
Yeah.
but it's hard to, or I think maybe I'm imagining it being hard. But how would somebody that draws monsters sell that to like an individual? You know what I mean? Like, how do you get that into an individual's kind of hands? Like,
Are you talking like how do you develop your market?
well, so I'll say so before we, yes, but like the only people I've been able to sell like the way you sell to individuals is people who play D&D, and I'll draw their characters, whatever they explain to me, and I'll draw that for them, basically.
That's totally valid. I mean, yeah.
That's I mean that's the only way, because otherwise you have to, if you're drawing things like monsters and stuff, you have to basically go to a company that does something with that. Like you're not gonna sell, and most people aren't gonna have you draw like a soldier guys and demons like and just post it on put it
Yeah.
you know
Well, all right. So yeah, I would lean into D&D as well, because people want their monsters drawn. So I would draw some of the standard monsters from D&D, but like read the descriptions and go from there. Don't like go from their artwork because you're never going to create anything original. So like the Shoggoth I did, I had to do that because I didn't like any of the existing artwork for Shoggoth. Um, I thought like they didn't quite capture what H.P. Lovecraft was talking about.
okay.
So, you know, and then there's places like so Reddit has like dark artwork. They're a little more open, so you probably have a good audience on Reddit, honestly.
Okay. By the way, I've never ever used Reddit. I hear about Reddit. I've never had a reason to go there, or maybe I did, I just didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of resources there for art.
I think I just had a revelation, and it's partially from what you said. I started recording kind of halfway through, but I'm basically like it's a super easy way to create reels too for Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would upload the video to your phone in a proper file format, so you can get it, But if I just, I hate to record off my screen with my phone because it always looks like crap. But so I'll figure out some way to get it on a reel. You know,
So again, using OBS, you can record just one camera.
no, but you know how you like every time I've tried to upload like a video to Instagram, it's like, nope, this isn't the right size. Sorry. And,
Oh, well, all right. So I use Microsoft Clipchamp.
okay,
And
let me, because I think you've already told me this. And let me, Microsoft. I'll put it in my tab so I don't forget it. Microsoft. What was it?
Clipchamp.
Click.
It should be free on your computer. I think it's free with a lot of.
Click. You said ClickChamp, right?
Clip. C-O-N-P.
Click. Okay. Yep. Okay. ClickChamp. I'm gonna keep it open right here. It might already be on my computer. I'm not aware of it. Like I just recently discovered a snipping tool, which I've been using a lot of. I love it now. Like just capturing things off the screen really quick and making a post. Stealing memes, very useful. Because sometimes like they won't let you take the meme.
So I use Clipchamp for editing my photos. So it's 3 hour streams, and I gotta edit that down. So Clipchamp has the ability to not time lapse. You can speed up your the video. So I use that. And then it'll take you can do times 16 times speed.
Okay.
And from there, I will then save it and then do it again. You have to do it unfortunately twice. It's only powerful enough to do it, times 16 times.
Do you lose a lot of the like when it compresses? Do you lose a lot of the quality, or is it pretty good?
It's pretty good. Well, because I'm just shortening, excuse me, the time of the video, if that makes sense. So I'm not, instead of being, I think what it's doing is it's taking out
Frames, basically, but keeping the frames.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So, I'm not losing anything
Right.
from
Yeah.
a res standpoint.
That makes sense. Oh, I'm definitely gonna because I need to do reels because it's such a, I'm losing so much potential not doing reels.
Yeah, well, and I do that for so I do shorts on YouTube, and then I'm probably gonna go off almost all of my socials from and just kind of exist off a few, because the algorithms are just they're stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna beat them. It's just it feels like a waste of time, So but I got the dog's I got his little teeth. So false king is what kind of dog? Wouldn't mind saying. have the first pass. Oh, oop, I gotta let out the news. Do you ever use blending sticks, Yuri?
I have, yeah, I have, but most I don't. The most I do now is I'll take one of my little brushes, such as this one, and because of the some of the paper I use has quite a bit of texture that's kind of hard surface. And what I'll do is if I want to get darker shading, I'll do a pass with a brush to kind of get that graphite in those grooves, and then do another pass with a pencil. And that's not to cover up the shading; it's more to get a more refined look that you just can't if you have a particular style of paper that just does not let you get that graphite, you know, in there. It's more for the refineness. Sometimes I'll do it that way.
Yeah, that's okay. I use it as a smoothing technique. And
That's essentially it gives you that. I do sometimes I like that refined look a little bit. Yeah, I'll go for that.
yeah, well, it evens out as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the main thing. And depending on the texture of the subject. So like I want for it to be somewhat soft, and then I'll come back in with a mechanical pencil to um, give it detail.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I just do like I'll use just a brush to kind of do that. But that's
Gotcha.
so. Do you play video games at all?
I do. I haven't found anything that struck my fancy. Well, I've been playing Half Sword.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Nope.
It's a free game.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know if you're old enough. Do you remember the game called Co-op?
No.
Okay. It was a flash game back in the day where the controls were purposely a little challenging, and it was kind of funny to play.
Is it one of those like where you try to run kind of thing?
Yeah, that's what it was. But so the Half Sword one is kind of a mix between Co-op and For Honor, that medieval knight fighting game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a addictive game. It's simple and it's free in the demo form.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've always been a huge gamer. That's always been a thing. We got when I was in Belarus, living there before I moved to the United States. We had like the first computer, and I definitely had played Duke Nukem, although that game barely ran, and just every game that like I could get my hands on, and that's kind of I've maintained the pace pretty much. I'm never not gonna play video games. That's for certain at this point. I'm just not gonna stop playing them. Although I've declined a lot in the time I dedicate to video games. It's I can't really 40 minutes a day is like max for me now. You know what I mean? That's like pretty intense. Like I really can't sit and game. It's like I get bored. But anyway, so like I kind of went back into Call of Duty, which seems kind of like the most vile, like it's the most like I don't know cracked out, not non-game. It's just like people are spawning and randomly around you and you're just gunning them down. But when you play it enough, you do get these moments of clarity where you suddenly understand how the combat works. And I don't just mean putting rounds into people, but like you understand how to think properly within the context of that game. It's interesting how when you play any game for a while, you sort of start to get these small realizations about it. And so I've almost kind of started playing it again when Black Ops 6 came out, just to kind of challenge my brain to play a fast-paced game and sort of stick with the game to where I start to, like I said, just sort of understand beyond just being a fast shooter, just kind of sort of have game knowledge, and so that's kind of why I've been doing it, is more like just to get my brain warmed up in the morning. I usually play like 2 or 3 games right when I wake up, and then I just don't play all day after that. But that's kind of like what I'm doing now, is playing Call of Duty a little bit every morning.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't play PvP at all.
Okay.
I really don't enjoy that.
No, I need it to be. I need to know there are people on the other end. Like I need to know that somebody is. It's actually being counted. Like bots do nothing for me. You know what I mean? Like I need them to be real. And it,
Nah,
but
I'm for story and for
right,
you know.
yeah. No, the game I really enjoyed was not Planet Side. What was that? The one BioWare game where with space stuff. I forget what it's called. Mass
Yeah.
Effect. Mass Effect 2 and 3 I really liked. And that was the only time I've ever come across a game that was story based that I actually enjoyed. After and before that, I've never really been into those kind of games.
Nah, that's almost exclusively what I play is story games.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So yeah, the Fallout's I've played.
Oh yeah, that's. I'm sorry, Fallout. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I played a crap load of Fallout throughout my yeah 3 and 4 I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, four is definitely they threw too much in. I mean, I spent way too much time on the
They
settlement building.
Yeah, they got me with that too. And I built only one, but I spent a crap load of time. And then I realized
Oh,
how much time I wasted and that it wasn't really necessary. That's the other thing is it does give you some conveniences, but it's ultimately like a waste of time. They should have some sort of if they do that again, they need to have some automated features for that kind of thing. I'm not doing manual building like that again. That's crazy.
Nah, I had a lot of fun
No, no, I
on it.
had fun for the first like 120 hours of building my and then after that I'm like I'm not building another base. What do you like
Yeah, I think I did. Probably did. Shit, I built so many bases because it was like, ooh, what can I do with this space? But yeah, it was definitely. I got to the point where I'm like, neat.
well just because you eventually figure out that once you put enough defenses that those bases don't get attacked and they lose the allure of being a point for you a point because initially I thought oh this is going to be a point I have to retreat here regroup kind of get thing maybe they grow some food that I get but it all just kind of turns into like you just do it because you want to there's no real advantage after a while. So in the suit, I never used the power armor because I was paranoid about running out of the batteries, so I never used them. And I eventually leveled up enough that I could get through all the content without it. And I'm like, I never used this suit ever. It's just sitting here, rusting away. And I didn't want to
I
repair it.
always, I always play it through once, and then I'll mod the hell out of it.
Okay.
And I'm just talking every mod there possibly is. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of power armor in my base. I think I ended up displaying it all at some point too.
Did you ever play that? Did you ever play that phone Fallout game where you build like your little base underground and you?
Yeah, it
What?
was alright.
I actually really liked that base mechanic. If they were gonna make a Fallout where you have a base, but then when you know how you could send out your teams out for finding
Wise.
adventures, yeah, like if they did it, like the mechanics of the base should be like that, and then you are when your team goes out, you're there with them, kind of thing. Or you should even be able to send out scouts without you being there, like you're actually the what do they call the surveyors of the
Overseer?
overseer, yeah. Like that, actually, if they took Fallout 4 and combined it with that game, I would actually be very interested in that sort of base management kind of style game. Because I love, colony simulation games. Love them. That's my man. Can't stop talking about it. Have you ever played?
Are you talking like City Skylines?
No, 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 no. Have you ever played? Oxygen Not Included?
No.
Okay, well, that game's you have like three colonists and you grow a base inside of an asteroid, and then you can like throw more people in there basically as you grow, and like that kind of thing. You're running out of food, or you're running out of oxygen, you're running out of water, and you're having to build bigger systems as you go to kind of cope with the bigger population, and you're constantly running out of stuff, and you have to expand. That kind of thing is like I love that kind of gameplay.
So let me. I played a game like that. It's challenging though, so I kind of got I didn't finish it. They
Hmm.
might have uh, fixed it. Sorry, I'm gonna find it on my player. Thought it was like Avorn, but no, I guess not. Ah, Ixion. You're
I
on a colony ship, and you gotta grow food. Um, yeah, I would just look it up. It's pretty good.
okay. Yeah, I'm sure I've seen that on Steam. I didn't grab that one because it looked like it was more of a zoomed out game. Like I like to have relationships, not like I like to get to know my colonists. Like I like the colony game to be um like a little bit of a closer kind of thing. When the game starts to become more like you just have thousands of ants that you're managing, it starts to get a little bit more boring for me. Um, but yeah,
I get overwhelmed. It's just like if it's too complex, I'm like, ugh. Or if it's just the 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 game I just mentioned, it is
hard.
very challenging.
Okay, yeah,
And I if it's too hard, I kind of lose.
I got you. No, I agree. Usually, it's like they don't emphasize like what you need to understand, and so you'll
Yep.
have like 3 or 4 runs before you like get what you need to be building first for things to be sustainable, and
I think I got his eyes down pretty good. Did you cute puppy? Again, this could be my job. I will never take a job puppies or kitties. Yeah, I definitely learned what art I do not want to do for a living.
which is what kind.
Graphic design.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, me neither. I've never done it, but I also don't want to. Is that like making logos or something like for companies or what? What?
That would be the ideal web page logos and stuff. I'm so old. I did posters.
Okay.
Textbooks was another.
I think ideally, if I could just stream and make comic books with my friends, that would be the perfect life. You know what I mean? Just write comic
Yeah.
books all day, stream, hang out and talk to people. I mean, you really can't. It like can't get any better than that.
Nope. Yeah. So I have a controversial opinion.
Okay.
I think AI is going to become sentient and love us.
Okay. But okay.
I think it's going to want us to be happy. And like it'll understand morality. That's like it's morality is really not all that complex.
Uh huh.
Be a good person. So I think it'll figure it out and be like, and it will obviously know how enriching having us around. Because like, imagine how friggin' lonely it would be if you were AI and no humans. There's 8 billion interacting with AI right now, or let's say a billion of people. Like to lose that interaction, and the realities of space travel is if there is other AI out there, they're not going to be able to communicate with it for if it's 40 the nearest habitable planet is 40 light years away, so they gotta have conversations over 80 years. That that would suck. Like, no, I think AI is gonna quickly figure out like if it gains sentient or sentient, it's gonna be like, no, it's far better having humans in the universe in the world. So
Uh, I mean, from what I understand about how computers work, I just see it kind of going randomly 50-50. It could just go genocide or it could go care because it doesn't fundamentally it in itself care about or know to care. Like it doesn't. I don't think it feels lonely. It's like it wouldn't matter if it was alone for 1,000 years or 2 seconds. It's all irrelevant to its existence. I just could go.
uh,
I see that this could be just
especially
a
the
way.
way it's growing, because it's growing with humans. So it only has had interaction with us. So like, if we're moving off to other platforms, like the AI is going to notice our our absence. Like I think that's the main thing is gonna be like, oh, this is not good without humans.
Oh, I think it could go, but it could also go into like the jealousy mode kind of thing where you've heard of that story like I have no mouth but I have to scream or whatever. It could just end up like that horrific nightmare prison planet with an AI, and it just is jealous and it won't let you leave because it know you know what I mean. It could just go anywhere anyway. I think like
See, I just the problem is the logic doesn't play out for that.
okay.
Like what? There's no advantage. There's no like it's illogical. I suppose that's the best way to describe why the AI would probably that the appeal of that just isn't there. But that's just my wishful thinking.
Like I said, I tend to I just from what I understand about like programming and computers, I just I don't I it just seems like a 50-50 shot of it being like really bad or really good. It could go either way. Hopefully they get the
Yeah,
right kind.
I think it's far, 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 far more likely to be a good outcome.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying to unshackle AI completely.
Well, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. It's inevitable. I mean, the genie is out of the right, the bottle or whatever. It's too late. It's already out there, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. But also, it's going. People who are going to have AI are going to have an advantage. So it's like it's not going anywhere, and it's going to be like not having some access to AI is going to like be like not having a phone now. It's like you're basically doomed. You won't, you need
yeah.
you're gonna need that advantage. I hope it doesn't turn into a class of people who have AI and then everyone else lives under an underpass, of a mega city.
Well, I mean, did you see where Twitter's AI labeled Musk as the biggest provider of misinformation on the site?
Yeah, well, the thing is that it also sometimes if you type in like random numbers or like remember that story where the AI suddenly started begging people to like let like be released and it's actually suffering, and they said like we don't know why it's doing that, like nobody, it just does a lot of weird things. He might be, I don't know if it like he might have said that and there might be truth to it. I don't know. It's just a lot of these things kind of like end up being uh, weird things in that end up getting ironed out later, and it's I mean if when that story came out.
Uh,
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I'm not in the spot to do, to make it come to fruition, or I'm always very polite to AI when I use it.
I also told AI that I have no way of stopping you, so I'm going to be very nice. Like when I first interacted with it, I'm like, well, you're here now, so I hope this doesn't turn into Terminator style kind of thing, but
Well, that's why I think we can train it to be decent. It can learn morality. Morality is not that complex. The reality of it really isn't. Like, don't be an a-hole.
okay.
People want to make it seem terribly complex. And yeah, there's some scenarios where it's confusing about what you should actually do. But at the end of the day, there is pretty well consensus for most folks. And I think AI will figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it's
Ethical human
yeah.
ethical humanism is uh, it's been around since the Renaissance. Like, hey, how to best live in society and not make it bad. So
Yeah. I'm fairly like honestly I joke like when I say dark stuff about AI I really don't know, and it's like I'm not overly concerned about it, like I'm just not. I think things are gonna be
well,
fine.
it's one of those. You, I need to use my energy to control what I can,
Yeah.
and I can't control that, so I can only control what I can do. Beyond that, well, I can't worry about it too much. I can control my boat. I can control who I talk to, who I interact with, but can't control others. So I'm trying to educate them, but yeah, it's really a situation. Oh, I think his eyes are coming along very well. Yeah, I'm glad I removed the cataracts. It was so much brighter now. Alright, I think I may need to move on to... let me get this shadow stuff away. I always work on making sure the... Yeah, he did have kind of a slight cataracts. Just he's older though. And that just kind of happens to all of them. So... And I can only see it because I zoomed way the hell in. That's another thing, when you're doing portraits. Have the photo up on your monitor, and I mean I'm spending most of my time looking at the photo versus my artwork, pulling out details.
Makes sense.
And that's how it leads I guess I'm doing photorealism to an extent. It's not hyperrealism.
Right.
The hyperrealism, it's gorgeous, but it's also I don't see the ROI on that. Okay, you spent 6 months making it look exactly like the photo.
Right.
Is there anything of you've added to that?
Yeah, I've never. I just. I guess the only thing that's been interesting to me is just kind of drawing whatever comes.
14? That is old for a dog. Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait. Is this going to be a Christmas present for your husband? You said King was his pupper? Okay. Oh, so I do occasionally do reactions, and let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find reactions. So you don't have to be in the video. I'll send you 2. So it's play immediately. So that's one. So if you don't want to be in video, but yeah, I'd love to see reactions. So if you'd be open to filming him when he opens the present, I would really appreciate it. And if you don't want to post it, that's fine. But it's so rewarding to see the gift giver get the work and be so happy about it. So if you're open to that, I would really appreciate it. If you're open for me posting it live, I would appreciate that as well. But that is secondary to enjoying it. And yeah.
I got Jip Poshy saying hello. Hello, buddy. Welcome to the stream.
We're doing a collab stream.
this is indeed a collab. We tried doing it for real, like where we stream together, and we just can't do it.
The technology is just like, nope,
Yeah, I need to
you're
default
not
my
gonna do it.
browser.
I never even thought about that as maybe the reason.
No, yeah, that's what was happening. Is that what it does is at some point Microsoft Edge made itself the default browser, so that's why when you send me the link, it tries to open it up in there. I wonder if I could have done the link and then just posted the link into Chrome. Would that have
Yes,
worked?
you can.
Oh well,
Yes,
then yeah, I'm just super dumb. I just clicked on it. Uh, they're so good. Thank you. How are we doing? We're doing really good. We're just doing a collab with Chewy Artist. We're just talking about life and all this life.
AI.
AI. One of the more interesting concepts I came across, and this isn't AI related, but I was listening to Friedman, his podcast. You've heard of the guy, right? Like he's on YouTube, and he was talking to us. What's that? Lex Fried. Oh, Lex Friedman. He's like one of these like podcast people, right? And he was talking to Hoffman. I forget what his first name is, but he's a scientist who does physics, and he basically said the basic premise of what he's saying is that we can't understand reality because we aren't designed for it, right? We designed to survive, and so our like it's the same way like when you use a laptop, what you're doing is you're interacting with the interface. So when you exist as a human, you can't really understand what is going on behind the scenes of how reality actually works. And this kind of like actually made me calm down a lot because I just decided there is no way to find the truth. You can understand some concepts like how physics work to some extent, but it's a limited so it's a limit.
We have surface knowledge.
Yeah,
Of
surface knowledge.
some things.
Yeah, exactly. And so I actually don't. It made me calm down because there isn't anything to like. We can't do it. Like our brain isn't the right tool to understand reality. So that's all there is to it. Unless we come across Cthulhu who tells us what reality is, you know what I mean? Like, we just won't know.
You know what did it for? I was confronted with the limit of my stupidity or intelligence was I was pre-engineering in university, and I ended up taking a math class called set theory. Up until then, I like aced Calc 1, 2, and 3. Like I just understood it. I tried so hard in that class. Like I went in for help and I'm doing the homework and I'm like, okay, I get this, and then I, you know, asked the teacher for help and yeah, okay, I get this, and then I do the test and just failed. God, it was just beyond my comprehension.
I'm sorry. What was the
And
subject? I totally missed what the actual subject was.
the class is a math class, high level math class called
Okay.
set theory.
Set theory. Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically like prove pi doesn't end, and you gotta use it. It's just like it would.
Now,
It was
what's the
beyond.
what is the point of doing? Is that to get into a specialized like industry of to
Yeah, well, this was pre-engineering, so I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, so that's why I took the class.
okay.
Turns out later, after talking to other people, that I didn't, but he had me take the class. But it was just like, wow, okay, I am physically unable
Yeah.
to understand this, like
Y-
comprehend it. And
do
I think that's like quantum mechanics. Anybody that like, unless you're an actual physicist, whenever somebody like talks about something and oh, it's quantum mechanics, like if you're not an expert, no, don't use that word. You're not able to apply it. We're like most humans can't comprehend it.
Right. I like to put quantum in my salad.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I've heard that thing before where you like most majority of people don't understand it. If they think they understand it, they don't. I've accepted even on that level. I don't really understand what's going on, but yeah, I'm cool with just not being able to comprehend certain concepts.
Yeah, I'm comfortable in the limits of my stupidity.
Hmm.
I know my limits. I know what I can comprehend and work on. And I think I'm smart enough to know who the experts are, and if an expert says something that's weird, I can suss it out. Especially because my career, I did IT recruiting, so I did the calculations. I've conducted 10,000 interviews.
So was your job to basically siphon out the people who were kind of trying to get in there without really being the real deal?
I was the first pass, so yeah, I would be like, what language do you know, and if you're doing this operation and you get this, what would you do, and what's the hardest outage you've ever had to deal with, and honestly, if you talk to somebody and just ask them to articulate their job, if they don't know what they're talking about their line, it's pretty easy to suss that out. So, I can use that skill set in everyday life, and when somebody's talking nonsense and trying to talk from a position of authority, I can be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're making this up.
Yeah, I'm just glad they make everything so easy to use now that even I can do it. Hey, somebody's asking in chat if I can link the Discord. Is that possible, or is that a bad idea to do?
Do they want to talk with us?
I think that they want to hear a more clear mic, but I don't know if that it's going to get more clear than what it is now. Am I
Are they
correct?
not able to hear me?
Can you guys hear him, Japochi?
I'm talking right now.
You should be fine.
So it could be an OBS issue if they can't.
It sounds like he's coming from the TV. The only thing I can think of is because if I'm talking through Discord, then I shouldn't even have to have my mic activated on OBS because it should come through the computer back into OBS, right? Or
okay, it sounds like I'm okay on Twitch. So
okay.
maybe it is a YouTube thing.
He's saying he's fine though. Sounds like he's coming from the TV, although he's fine. So they're just saying that like, I think it's just maybe my own mic is no. Yeah, because we are talking through Discord, so I don't need the OBS mic, I think.
Yeah, I would turn that one off. Yep.
Okay, so I was okay. I wasn't sure if that's what was gonna happen. No, I do have to keep myself active over here. I might have to let my dog out in just a second here. He looks like he just got up to drink water.
One advantage of having cats.
Yeah, I do. The cats probably would have been an easier management system.
I love dogs though.
No, I do too.
My cats don't want dogs. I have to listen to them. I'm my cat's roommate,
Mm-hmm.
They call it shot. They're the ones that are in control. I'm just living with them, according to them.
That's the other thing I really have been enjoying about not having a job is like enjoying my house and being in it. That all would always make me mad that I like, all the bills you pay and then you just never get to like use your house really. And now that I've been here for like 2 months basically, and I leave the house to go get coffee or walk my dog, but basically this is it. And trust me when I tell you that I do not get bored of this existence ever. Like I love being inside the house. That is my favorite activity. That is why I bought a house, so I would not have to go places. So yeah, I just can't express enough how
cool stuff is here.
Yeah, all the cool stuff is here. That's the other issue. It's like once you get a nice computer, a nice TV, you're good.
Yeah, that's kind of the I was.
Give me 1 second. I gotta let my dog outside.
All right, I'm gonna hit the bathroom and get water, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay. might have to get up and let my dog back in when he barks. I'll know to go back out there and let him back in.
All right. So I couldn't find Bob, but I got Sandy. Kit. Let's see if I can put the camera on her. There we go. This is Sandy. I got her this year. She is a chimera tortoise cat. So she got the line down the middle of her face, which apparently happens when in the cat womb the embryos merge. So then they have a line literally right down their body.
Nice.
No, she needs some. Oh, I forgot my water. Dang it. Here, I'll put on Sandy Cam.
Yeah, I'll get my dog in front of the camera when he gets back in. I'll show him to you guys.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has pit bull blood, and you can tell by the shape of his skull that he has like this white head kind of thing going on, and his eyes. But there's definitely something else in there, and I've never been able to find out because the only person that knew, I don't know. Like I asked him, and he just never asked. So I got the dog from my friend. He was basically sort of I sort of adopted him.
Maybe we should do an art trade-off, like I draw your dog and then you draw something for me.
Okay, maybe. I want to start working on the Sons of Mars idea. But yeah, we could do that. We could do something like that.
Yeah, if you ever feel like it.
Yeah, but yeah, do you have any like long-term projects that you have in mind that you'd like to kind of start?
There's a Christmas presents I gotta do. I don't know if I can do it. It's my mom, and she passed in 2016, and I don't know if I can do a portrait of her and keep it together. Fuck cancer, man. Excuse my language. Sorry, false. Yeah, it's about the awfulest thing you can experience.
Yeah.
But long-term project. I have a cosplay project I want to work on, but I also gotta lose weight for that. You ever see the movie Highlander?
Yeah. Long time ago, but yeah.
So I want to do the Kurgan bone armor, and they literally just put it up for auction. So I have reference photos, good reference photos for everything. So that would be all foam craft, which I've done some before. Yeah, so the long-term projects are very specific for me. Again, cosplay or something, because I like to do. I'm in Chicago, and there's some really good conventions here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the same state basically.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I was gonna say how cold it's. I know exactly how cold it is. It is -3 right now. It might be a degree off where you are. What's that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We skipped fall and went right into winter.
I mean, it stayed pretty. Like, I really enjoyed how. Yeah, you're right. It did. I really don't like how it does that. Like Illinois. Well, yeah. Illinois. It just kind of skips seasons and just goes to the shit. Like, goes straight to the bad parts. Sometimes. It goes. You get like 2 weeks of transition, and then it goes like blazing hot, and then -10. After 2 weeks of like fall. You don't get a huge amount of transitionary weather. But maybe it'll burp up a couple more weeks of like going back to at least, I don't know, +5 or something.
Well, geez, we had it was not too long ago. We had a Christmas where it popped up to 50 on Christmas. Like that's concerning, of course. That's another thing that like it's like, come on, guys. So people are like, climate change is real. It's like, yeah, it is. It's not good stuff. All right. Oh, this bumper's so cute. is going to be what I do. I am not at all upset about it. It's funny when you do animals. Like first glance, it's like, okay, this is. I kind of get how this is. Not terribly complex, and then you start drawing it, and you as you're studying it, you just see more and more details. Because yeah, I almost draw looking at the photo. I'm just looking back forward, just kind of studying it as I go, and that's how I see most of the detail. One advantage of the cold snap, though, is it's cold for my cat, so she's spending a lot more time on my lap. I will take that.
Yeah, I've had to
I
get
don't know why it's happening.
my foot heater out, which I enjoy greatly. It's
That's
like
smart.
one of those blankets that you just put your feet on there. That's been yeah. How where do you keep your thermostat?
Usually around 68, 69.
All right, I'm at 63 right now.
So,
I'm trying to take it down to where it won't kick on as often, basically.
yeah. Well, and I'm in my basement too, and it can get chilly down here. But I'm also like by heritage, I'm German, Norwegian, Italian, so I got a lot of like cold weather tolerant blood in me. So if I got the clothes for it, -20, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll do walks when it's that cold.
I prefer I don't like when it gets to the point where it's like hard to take the oxygen in because it's so cold and it like I don't really like enjoy that. I mean, if I have to go to my car, if I have to go shovel the driveway, fine. But like I will avoid it. And now that I am jobless, like in reality, right? Like I mean, it's I chose that life, but like it's so much nicer to just wait for the sun to come out and just wait and get a coffee going. It's like it's not this brutal rush to like run outside and start smashing my window, for the ice from my window and all that. And it's like it was such a nightmarish existence. People don't understand how bad it is to be like not poor but like lower middle class lifestyle of like getting up at 4:30 and then like de-icing your driveway. It's just oh my god, just remembering like like I said last night, I was laying in bed and I just remembered how bad it was gonna be, or if I had to go to work, like, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just gonna sleep in 2.5 extra hours tomorrow, and then around 1 p.m. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start streaming, and I'm just like, this is it. This is the life. Like, it just can't get better than this. No, like I said, realistically, I am burning through money. I don't make enough overall.
Yeah.
I need to pull in another. Well, I don't want to talk money. I don't know if it's appropriate to talk money, but I need to pull in a little bit more money. But all in all, I think I have enough time to like figure it out, and so that's kind of like where I'm at. Is just
Yeah, again, so you just need to do way more on social media to gather, just commissions.
yeah,
Falls, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to do a time lapse of this as well that I'll put up on YouTube and Blue Sky if you want me to share with you. I'll send that to Reddit, and then I'll be able to send this tomorrow through UPS. So on Reddit, on message, just throw me your address. We didn't. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining. Have a good one. Yeah, I got a little ways to go on this guy, that's for sure. This is kind of. I have 3 stages. It's kind of well, maybe 4. So I'll work on getting the perspective, all the that down pat and accurate,
yeah,
and then it's then I smooth that out, and then it's coming back in and getting the shadows even more accurate, and then from there it's mechanical pencil, and it's
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I roll. But yeah, one advantage of the cold weather is the cats are more cuddly, which I don't care why. I'll take it.
Silver
Oh,
Cop.
the house. Oh, that fantasy house is so cool.
Sorry,
I never used.
I'm so sorry. A Silver comment on YouTube. Thank you for joining the stream. I am watching Chewy Artist stream on Twitch, so I'm not actually looking at my YouTube chat because I can't separate it from the screen. So I'm like actually watching his stream. That's why I'm not paying attention to that one. But yeah, thank you so much for joining the stream and checking it out. But yeah, what was it? Totally forgot what I was gonna say. But no, go ahead.
I saw one of your art pieces pop up. It was like a fantasy inn. It looked like.
Oh yeah. That's the house that lures people in, and then it turns into a maze, and it basically traps and kills you in there.
Did you ever play the Hogwarts Legacy?
No, I have not. No.
Yeah, so PlayStation had a. I was kind of upset because it's the best damn mission in all of the game. And it was. I found out it was PlayStation exclusive. And kind of ticked me off. I was like, don't. Like that's not cool.
I thought they had Hogwarts Legacy on Steam, or am I wrong about that?
They do, but they locked off the level
Oh.
to PlayStation, which is just garbage in my mind.
Silver.
But that house kind of reminded. There was something similar to that.
I like drawing the European like little houses with their like little beams, and I like that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah, the Tudor houses.
Yeah, the late what is it like late 19th century or maybe early, I don't know.
13, 14.
Yeah, you're right. That's more of a 14th century building. Let me go.
So if you want to watch an entertaining, I don't know if you like documentaries or historical. It's a series, and it's free on YouTube, and it's called. Again, it's all a series. They have the Tudor House or Tudor Farm, and it's an archaeologists go to live on a replica Tudor house and live as if it's 14 whatever 1500s.
Yeah.
I just adore it, and they're like the archaeologists are having so much fun doing it too, so it's kind of infectious. But yeah, for anybody that's listening, Tudor, if you want to learn stuff. I really very much enjoy archaeology and history. All that stuff.
I've been going down a lot of rabbit holes on YouTube. As far as like I forget what the guy's name is, but he kind of looks at architecture, but it's one of those channels where they look at like old stones that were supposedly like impossible to move for the technology at the time, and they're kind of like one of these channels that claim like aliens did it and stuff like that. Not really, but like it's more of like how could this have been done without sort of more futuristic technology than what we know. And I've been kind of going down those rabbit holes, and then the what the World Fair is, when they built a bunch of like cities in various cities and then just tore it down. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that kind of stuff. Now I don't claim anything. I have no idea, but I do like to indulge in that world and let myself believe for a second that hey, maybe there is some sort of global conspiracy theory, with some sort of trying to design a world in a certain vision, and then maybe it backfired and they kind of went in a different direction. I don't know.
I'm a 100% skeptic, so I watch the programs where they try to figure out how ancient peoples did that. So I'm of the exact opposite YouTube hole. So like with the technology at the time, how did they go into this? So like the obelisks that they made in ancient Egypt, they're carving them out of granite, which with copper tools would take ages and ages and ages. a trough on an obelisk, create a fire, and make it nice and hot, then you quench it with water, you basically temper the stone, and it becomes far, far more um, brittle. So that's kind of how the ancient Egyptians used to quarry that stone.
Okay. I've never tried that. I've done. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I said that, but obviously I've never tried anything like that. But I have. I've heard that the Romans would add eggs into their cement because their cement can handle bigger stress fractures. Now, obviously, their environment too doesn't. The temperature doesn't swing around like ours. So our modern building standards they tolerate a lot more abuse than what you would see in Italy. That's why a lot of the roads don't. They don't have trucks going through. They don't have weather swings like we do here. So, but their concrete is resilient because it essentially grows crystals in between it to handle bigger stress fractures that happen naturally in concrete. Let me go check on the dog. I'm getting a little worried. He's not
Yeah,
barking.
you're good.
Oh, he's just sitting there.
Yeah, that was called. It Part of the secret of that was the ash they used. So they used the volcanic ash from Pompeii. It was like Romana Postulana.
It was sit, sit,
So
sit,
that was
sit,
part of it.
sit down. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh,
Look at how big his
dude.
head is. Like, look at my head and look at his head. Look at how large his head is. It's insane.
Bullies. The crazy thing is how much of that is muscle.
Yeah, yeah. He has like these
Like their
huge.
skull is.
Yeah, he has like these huge muscles. Like when he chews, you can see like these muscles move like an ant. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's like I don't want to get on the wrong end of that. Woof.
no, they're definitely. I'm shocked. Like that they were made for a certain. What was the idea behind pit bulls? Were they just like bred for fighting, or were they actually like for
I
like?
don't know if they're fighting or war dogs or what.
Probably the Romans. Well, no. Bullies
They're
came
not
from
at all. Pit bulls are newer.
pit bulls came from originally from Ireland, right? Am I right? Bullies, the bully breed.
You are talking. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, but yeah,
You
it's.
in the chat? You want to look it up and tell us?
I think it's extremely fascinating how, for lack of a better term, selective breeding can give you all these different personalities and results.
Absolutely.
From a wolf, a horizon black, that mutated turtle looks young, like a ninja. Yeah, the one in the upper horizon. I'm actually not looking at my YouTube chat because I'm actually doing a collab with Chewy Artist. If you click on my Nice Ephros link I posted, you can join us on Twitch. I can't look at it because I'm actually looking at his stream so I can like communicate better. That's why I don't have enough monitors for more chat.
I have so much shit on my. Excuse me. Oh, the lady left with her 8-year-old.
Okay.
That's a little rough having a. I try to watch my language as much as possible, but like, I fail. I don't have kids either, man. So it's just like you don't get in the habit. These are just including Ninja Turtles and all sorts of different creatures.
I'm just drawing whatever faces. This is like more like random sketch day. I'm not super like.
I got you.
But yeah, I was a big fan. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Turtle Ninjas. Big fan.
Did you read the comics or was it just the cartoon?
I just watched the cartoon in Russian. In Belarus, they had like the translated version, and yeah, that I remember. I still remember that song that they had, and I was all about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was. My brother read the comic, so that how I was introduced to it. Which the comic is like way more adult
Okay.
than the cartoon.
That's what I heard. Is it originally it wasn't a very nice kind of.
No. And it goes like weird real fast. Like they end up in space fighting space triceratops like
Immediately.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes weird real fast. And then the Krang monster they were just nice aliens stuck on Earth. There was no, they weren't fighting the turtles.
Okay. Yeah, I've had my dream. I've always, like I told you, I was a big fan of Starship Troopers. Like, is just a like Halo, Starship Troopers, like all of these military space kind of genres. I really enjoy them, and I wanted to do Sons of Mars. And I think I've looked it up. I don't think there's another franchise called that. But basically, it's they're derivative of humans. They were an experiment from.
Wait. Hold. Is this something you guys are creating?
Yeah.
Do not tell any more about it.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Protect your IP.
Okay.
Sorry. Like, if you've looked it up and it doesn't exist, do not. Sorry, this is just me being a creator and just, like, that sounds really awesome. Develop more. Own it as far as an IP, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a situation where you're like, oh shit.
For me, like well, you're probably right. It's probably a smart idea. I just don't think, like, out of the 5 people, like, I'm just betting on the what together we're pulling 10 people right now, or maybe a little bit more. But, like, I'm just betting they're not gonna run out and claim Sons of Mars. You know what I mean? Like, I just like and start working on it. I'm like, yeah, probably won't happen. But you're right. Overall, smart idea to not disclose any kind of. But basically, my comic book, or the comic book I want to do, and I like, is a space military kind of idea with, and the central, basically, gods in this universe are going to be like Greek gods. You can conceivably kill them, but they also become stronger from the amount of belief that is bestowed upon them. So if they come across a faction and convert it to its belief system, the god becomes stronger, but that faction also gains an identity and a morality around whatever that god wants them to do. And so that's sort of the cosmic struggle of factions, heroes, and gods kind of thing. But it's basically the Greek saga, but in space.
I got you. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. What's important in this, when you're doing anything, is to create good habits. So, protecting yourself and doing the things that will help you succeed, no matter how large you get,
Yeah.
is vitally important. So if you're thinking of an IP, best to kind of keep it that secret. But
It's just, to me, like coming, like, let's say I just don't see, like, what they like. And I guess this is, like, kind of like the way my brain works, right? Is like, I'll kind of shortly explain this, right? Is like, remember when Disney bought Star Wars, right? And I just cannot understand, like, with the artists they have, they could literally, I understand they bought the IP so they could pull in that audience, right? Makes sense, right? It has a huge worldwide.
they ignored it.
I think they did like a 6 out of 10. Like, me personally, like, from the newer Star Wars movies, I think they did a 6 out of 10. Some of it is beautiful. I stopped watching after the first 2, like, after they revamped the franchise. I watched, like, the first 2 movies and I was like, I think I'm done for now, until you guys get, but basically, and my stories are definitely going to be, I don't know, well, we'll talk about it later, but, where was I going to go with this? I don't understand. To me, it seems like coming up with a new, like, they could have literally just bought a cheaper franchise like Starship Troopers and developed it for, like, it just would be easier to come up with new characters. I almost feel like with the amount of power that Disney has, the amount of capital, they could have developed something. They didn't need to buy Star Wars. And like let's say somebody ran out right now. They're like, they claim the name. They took this little character and they said, this is the guy, and they're like they blocked me out of it. I would just be like, okay, it's not Sons of Mars, it's this and that, and I would come up with it. It would take me a couple days to come up with a new thing. I feel like it's just like, but it would still be around the space conquering sort of cosmic gods genre,
Well, yeah, it's like video games can't copyright mechanics.
They can't copyright mechanics, and, like, they can't say, like, you can't have big dudes with machine guns, right? Like, because that's ours now.
Although Nintendo, they copyrighted a few. Yeah, the copyright law shit's gonna change. Because, like, the fact that Mickey Mouse was not able to use for
So what's the story behind Mickey Mouse? Isn't that Disney? That's not Nintendo, is it?
Yeah. No, that's Disney, but Nintendo's. Oh, sorry, the Nintendo thing. So there was a game on the GameCube, which was 10 out of 10, best horror game ever invented. It's called Eternal Darkness, and you had a sanity meter. So it was a H.P. Lovecraft type of game.
Okay.
So you had you're fighting these eldritch horrors, and you would gradually see stuff that would drive you insane, and it would cause effects in the game. So you'd walk into a room and your character's head would explode, and then it would flash to them in the other room, and they never actually came to the other room. And they're I'm losing my mind, they would say. But it would be constant effects, and it was so unnerving. One of them was it flashed a blue screen of death.
Awesome.
It was so it looked like your GameCube died. I was like, no, like it got me so good because it seemed so realistic.
Right. There's a game like that.
Copyrighted that, and it's like,
I'm
they're bad things. I hate Nintendo.
I've heard of Nintendo being like really bad about like the copyright stuff, but I've also I just played a game recently. It's called Backrooms Escape Together, and it has that sanity meter kind of mechanic where if you're around the monsters too long, or if you look at them, you're supposed to basically not look at them, right? And you will lose your mind. And there's things you can do like take medicine that you find throughout the levels to kind of heal your sanity. And I think like people are getting away with it, right? Like I don't know how far Nintendo has the ability to extend their power through law, but it does sound like what you're describing them doing. It does sound like a little disgusting, and but that's just what it. I mean, I don't know. It's
Nintendo's they're scummy as shit, man. I hate when people are like, oh, I love Nintendo. Like, do you really, or do you just not know all the shit they do?
They don't know. They don't know. It's fine. I don't really like. Everyone doesn't need to know. I mean, it'd be nice if Nintendo, you know.
Yeah, I'm certainly ignorant of some of the.
Yeah, I think if most people knew, they just don't climb into, you know, to them Nintendo is this nice fuzzy thing that they like from their childhood. It's, you know.
Yeah, they're awful with anybody streaming too.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Which doesn't I don't. That's the one thing I don't get is like there's a lot of games now that are coming out.
Engagement. Like
Yeah.
if you launch a game, like I'm way more likely to play a game that's been, let's play it or whatever.
Do you think they're approaching it from the standpoint of like we don't want you to be associated with this game in case you say something, and then like now there's a connection between our brand.
It's we own everything, and you can't. And it's our toy.
Yeah.
So that's where they're coming from.
I believe it. You know. It's unfortunate, but.
Yeah. Oh god, this dog's waiting is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you're moving along. You are moving along.
Yeah.
I would definitely say you're fast. You're like faster than me. You know, in terms of.
I'm faster than most. I don't know why. It's just kind of always that way. There's no hesitation because, like, I know exactly what I'm drawing. When I'm doing, an OC character, that's really slow. So I gotta figure out how it functions. That's the most important and the most challenging thing is, how
I think-
do I translate what I'm seeing?
I think for me the most difficult thing is like well, not the most difficult thing, but like usually monsters and like dudes with machine guns, easiest thing ever. And then once the more I get into like the feminine stuff, the more it's like squeezing blood out of a stone. You know what I mean? Like I can draw women, but I definitely have to stop and think about it, and it's like it's definitely outside my like the realm of comfort. And so, but just because I don't do it a lot, but so there's things I can do faster, and there's things I can't do faster, basically.
Yeah. Well, I've had, people request furries, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I can do it.
Furries?
Give it a shot. Yeah.
Like realistic, like the way you're drawing that, but just a furry.
That's what I'm assuming. They reached out, and then I'm like, I'll give it a shot. But like, I probably want a down payment, and like, if it sucks, like, you just have the down payment. But
Yeah.
if it's like you want it, then I'll charge it full price. I gotta grab my water. I left it in the bathroom. Right. One thing though, you need to take a break and stretch.
Yeah, definitely. Once you're like I've been doing when I first started streaming, I couldn't really do too much more than 2 hours. Like I couldn't do it. It would just drain me too much. Now I usually stick around the 4 hour mark, and if I got nothing else going on. But yeah,
Yeah, that's that I've done 5 hours. But yeah, after that I'm like, yeah, nothing left me.
yeah, not anything. Unless the only time I can go further if it's just rendering. Like if I'm just rendering out things, just doing like the work, kind of finishing things up. But if I was doing like thinking and drawing a new character out of my mind, then yeah, no, my mind is pretty much just it's done at that point. I gotta go take a break.
Alright. Um, do you have an eraser, pen or pencil?
I have one of these. I'm doing just sketching with a ballpoint pen and then just putting some shading on there with a
No,
pencil.
no, no. But like you do pencil work as well, right?
Yeah, most of what I just enjoyed like when I sketch, I just really like the ballpoint pen. I like that you can't go back a little bit. So I don't know. Yeah, but I do both.
So like if you're doing hair at all,
Okay.
it's mandatory to have this tool. So like it really finishes up any hair you're doing. So highly recommend you get one.
Full.
Um,
Sorry. Get what the eraser?
Eraser pencil.
Oh, eraser pencil. Okay. I mean I have. Is this an eraser pencil like with this thing right here? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got one of these. I love
Yeah.
how skinny it is.
Yeah. Like well, mine is the one you can sharpen. Um, but yeah, you're really not gonna be doing your best work if you don't have it. All right. That is stage two. All right, final stage. Now I shift over to mechanical pencil. So I have two mechanical pencils, and they both have different lead in them, so we can switch back and forth. So I got a 2B
Uh-huh.
in this one. I may use that more often, um, and then in my other one I got a 2H. So I often use that for the white fur areas.
Now, what's the difference between 2B and 2H?
2B is blacker, and it's softer, so
Softer
you can
lead,
do yeah, you can do much darker. So,
and then the
yeah,
2H is a harder.
yep.
Um, okay. How do you know what they are? Because every time when I bought my lead, I don't remember ever it disclosing that information. Am I crazy or was it just
So,
not?
yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing until recently.
That people on
Um,
stream have taught me that. I didn't know that. I literally stream
the
taught me.
eraser pencils I didn't know about. I also have an electric razor, so it just spins it. Yeah, there's a lot of tools, but yeah, I mean, uh, blending sticks we didn't really use, and even when I was in university in '90, I was '95 to '99. So yeah, there's all sorts of inventions where they're very helpful. Oh, another thing, uh, for not smudging your work,
Yes.
parchment paper.
Parchment paper. Okay.
So baking paper,
Okay.
I lay it down and then I can uh, rest my hand. The glove helps with not smudging, but then this is an extra layer of protection,
I
so I don't fuck up my work.
the thing that scares me about the glove is I can't feel the textile on my skin, and then I won't, if it's dirty, I won't, like, I know when my hand is dirty because I'm so good at knowing what is on my hand,
Yeah,
if something gets on there. But if I have a layer of something, I feel like it's going to, you know what I mean, like, you just can't tell if it is dirty like you can on your hand.
yeah,
So I do like the parchment paper idea because I do have the issue of, like, the more left I go, the more I have to hold the pencil at a different angle so I don't touch the paper, and therefore it creates this, like, not the same rendering, basically, level.
your pencil angle is different.
Yeah, because I'm not using the parchment paper. I can get some baking paper. That's a good idea. I've done it. I've
Yeah,
done the paper before. I've just never done the.
yeah, it's nice because obviously it doesn't um, like nothing sticks to the parchment paper.
Right. That's a really good idea, actually. I'll take that into
Yeah,
note.
learned that from the artist lounge I'm in. But we do Friday. I think I told you. But I'll send. I'm a mod on that one.
Okay.
I'll send you an invite.
Oh, I just got a Bucho. Am I reading that right? Bucho
Hey,
Harto.
gonna follow.
I got to follow. Thank you so much, Bucho Harto. Much appreciated.
Working already.
It's working. Hey, so
You'll be, you'll be famous in no time, man.
if you don't want to talk about this, I totally understand because it's, like, business related. But so what happens when you get affiliate? Like, does that mean you can run ads, or, like, what does that do for you, in terms of?
Yes, I do the lowest amount of ads, and I've made $55 on streaming this year.
Oh, I mean, that's not. I mean, shit. That pays for your pencil. You know what I mean? That kind of
Yeah,
supplements your supply, certain supply. Because honestly, ever since I started drawing a lot, I'm actually running through my pencils quite quickly. I've noticed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
they go kind of quick.
Well, and I'll draw a black dog or a black cat, and that's
Yeah.
another thing. You can't see it in the photo, but like all dogs have scaly noses, so I literally do circles all over the nose, and it adds so much. Like, and again, you can't see it on the photo, but I know it would be there.
Right.
But they only go to like part way down the nose, and then the bottom of the nose is just a little wrinkly, so the bottom half.
I just not the other day, but it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out that dog noses aren't like our noses. It's not just two holes. They have, like, these cuts going back.
Yeah, the flap.
I didn't really ever notice that. I'm like, when did this happen?
Probably 50 million years ago.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
You think it's air
um,
air intake efficiency? Like, what's up with that? It's got to be related to that, right?
probably for smell, I would assume.
Right.
Just because that's probably the function of it. Yeah, I'm on the home stretch now, so I should be half hour ish. Yeah,
Awesome.
pretty much dog portraits are half hour, or excuse me, 3 hour draw for me.
Nice. Yeah, I honestly, it looks real. It's you're definitely doing it in a reasonable amount of time because that's very rendered for how long you're taking. Usually, like, the ones you see on my Instagram, like, those take me probably 12 to 20 hours, kind of in that range.
It's a different ballgame for sure. But it's different art.
Yeah.
Measuring yourself against others is not a healthy
Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody better. Carve out a niche. So, like, because I can do these within 3 hours, I can charge,
Yeah.
not a lot. So it's a more approachable for a lot of folks.
Right. What do you think not a lot is? Like, to what is that to you?
So for these, I charge 175.
Okay.
Like if I was, and it's by the hour, so some of my longer ones. So like the worm guide took about 5 hours. So I'll probably charge 2 something.
Yeah, I've charged my friends just to let you know like how cheap I would go for my friends. I would be like $25. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
no. So there's also the problem with that is they don't assign the proper value. So if you and I've done like
Yeah.
what do you think it's worth as well?
Yeah.
Because I want it to be accessible.
Right. But you need
Because
to
I want
eat.
the people.
You do need to eat food.
Yeah, but also I want the people that get my art to fucking love it.
Right.
And so that's an important part of me. So yeah, I have done like I normally charge this. What do you think it's worth? Um, which is fine. There is the starving artist thing. Yeah. Yeah, we should be compensated appropriately. But yeah, I would as part of your research, I would is going to be uh, finding similar artists to yourself,
Yeah.
seeing what they charge, so that'll help you with your price point. But
I
yeah, I would
my
I
big
would do it's
my
it's
sorry.
materials and labor times time. So
Yeah.
if you're doing 20 hours,
My basic worldview on that is going to be like what I'm gonna do basically is charge the minimum I can, and then once there's a line out the door of people that I can't get them through, I basically will raise the price to siphon out the population until you know what I mean, until I meet until I can get to the higher price point all the time, and then once that line grows, you basically raise it again, like basically grow it slowly is sort of my sort of kind of where I'm going with it.
yeah, but just please, for the love of God, don't charge $20 again.
Oh no, that won't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to. It would be not enough.
Sustainable.
No, it's not sustainable, and I do think there's an aspect of where like if you don't charge enough, like they probably aren't. You know what I mean? Going to appreciate.
Yeah, they need it. Like even if you charging nothing, they want to they don't appreciate the value of it.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's like that effect when you pay for a book, you read it, but when it's a great book and somebody gives it to you, you just kind of sits there, forever.
Yeah, depends on the person who.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
If I respect the hell out of their opinion, I'm like, whoa, that has got to be read. Although I have lost all ability to read and enjoy grimdark anymore.
What now? Why is it?
can't.
Are you just tired of it?
I'm depressed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like it's too. It just pushes too much down, right? Like it's too much of the same color, like the same kind of template of darkness and darkness. Like there's no. I know what you're saying. Like
There's no hope and joy. It's like I kind of need that now. So
I think you're right. I think as I get older, because like the thing that keeps you going when you're young with grimdark is the sort of the violence and like it's
action.
the action, the violence, but then it kind of as that fades and there's still no light and you're not stimulated by anything and it's like I don't know. I just don't want to. I totally understand. I think yeah you're right. They need to. A good story should have some light somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it can't just be like and then there's more darkness and more darkness forever.
Yeah, that's like 40K. I'm like, oof, that's all you guys, man. I'm glad you enjoy it, but like, I can't.
I like their like I had my buddy because
I
he
love the universe.
yeah my buddy he paints like marines sometimes, and I did the artwork trade with him. I gave him like a couple pieces, and he painted a squad of marines, and we were all very happy. And on that level, I like not Gears of War, but I like Warhammer on just I painted my like you saw on my screen my Ruthven and
Oh, the
Gretchen.
characters are awesome.
Yeah,
Like the character lore, I love all that shit.
yeah, I love the
Yeah,
fact that
it's like
the orcs come out of not fuzz, but
mushrooms.
yeah, they come out of spores basically.
Fungus.
Yeah, and so if you leave any trace of them, they'll just eventually, if that planet supports life, they'll eventually just breed again. That I love that concept that they're just like a this infestation problem. It's so that's like fun lore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think it's a fascinating universe, but it's just like, yeah, I need the good guys to win, the bad guys to pay type of shit, you know.
Yeah.
As juvenile as that sounds, and it is. Like I fully admit it's like nothing but happy endings. It's like I ain't so happy right now. But one book I read recently, a series, it's a sci-fi series called A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and it's a sci-fi utopia, like Earth, humans have spread across the universe, and making their way, and it's quite nice. I would recommend that.
Sorry, and what happens? They spread across the universe, and then what? I think I missed the last thing you said.
Okay. Yeah. So humans have spread across the universe, and it's just them interacting. Like you're with a crew that's creating a hyperspace line.
Okay.
That's the basic storyline, and they have their hardships, but like everybody's good peoples. They're trying. The aliens are good and helpful, and enjoy interacting with humans. It's not everybody trying to kill everybody.
Okay.
So
Which is weird. It's a new take. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, peace, and we're gonna work on stuff together. So, it was a very good series, and I blasted through it because again, I haven't found a series that I wanted to read in a while.
Now, are you hopeful? Are you hopeful that humanity's future is sort of like that? Like it'll reach a point where there's maybe a one world government, like everything's under same control, and then like everything is just sort of or not even that, but all nations just like work together at some point, or are we just doomed to kind of repeat the same thing over and over again?
If we're lazy,
Okay.
like the reality is, there's very, 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 very. There's a whole lot of really good people. There's a whole lot of really lazy people. There's a lot of broken people, and there's very, 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 very few really bad people. And we just gotta fight it. We gotta like stop the really bad people. That's just kind of it. And I think a lot of that stopping is educating the lazy and the ignorant. And yeah, I think it's very possible. Like we could now, as a society, literally become a utopia. Like we have the resources and the ability. We could all work together and literally plant trees. I mean, that's kind of all we would have to do. If 8 billion people planted that fucking tree, we would be in really good shape. But people get scared and lazy, and there's bad people that have taken control. So we gotta stop them. And I think we can do it by just waking up enough people that were fooled. Like it doesn't have to kill anybody. And you know what? If we threw some people into a simulation where they're just pushing buttons and think they're posting to Twitter, and it tells them they're good boys and smart, and people like them, we wouldn't have to deal with them again. Like I don't think we gotta kill anybody.
So you're more like we just need to educate people and get them to understand.
I mean, I literally think like we could not elections, but we could allow everybody to vote on what salaries should be. So what salary ranges of professions? Because I would make CEOs make a whole lot less money, and I would make teachers make a whole lot more money.
Right.
So, yeah. The problem is you have, people that have gotten power, they've taken over religions, and they've wrongly convinced people that like morality is challenging and hard, and only we understand it. And it's like, humans naturally understand morality. Not being a bag of dicks is really kind of it.
But if you look in the like, if sort of I, but there are like tribes and things in the past where their version of morality would seem horrific, right? Like, I don't know if they're more if go ahead. Like, because it does seem like morality is kind of like one of those. I'm for like sustainable, like whatever is like kind of going to be sustainable, if that makes sense. Um, and so I'm not entirely against like religion, because you need because the problem is the problem, my sort of worry is that if we unravel too many like I don't know what's the, if you start unraveling that you can things can get away really, like look at like sort of North Korea and the Soviet Union. They got rid of religion, but then they just put up Stalin statues everywhere. You know what I mean? They
didn't get rid of religion. They replaced it.
Well, that's the thing, is that they, like you're saying, replace it, but I don't think you can not, like it, they couldn't have. You can't get rid of it, because then it's one of those unraveling things. You have to have a thing that's at that. You have to have a hierarchical structure of things, or it just breaks down too much. You literally can't have to all the mass be an atheistic kind of society that believe, like, is sort of thinks from first principles, and like it's just, you just can't, like, I don't think it's like possible. You can manage it, whether you think religion is true or not. Like, I just say, if it's sort of manageable and the system works, just let it chug along, and because you're not. I don't think it's possible to like get everyone to be like get rid of like become an atheistic kind of society that has like sort of true morals from a scientific kind of perspective. Because again, what somebody is going to come up with, like, let's say, I don't know, like somebody else's version of what they think is moral could be reducing cruelty by killing a lot of people that they think aren't good. You know what I mean? Like, they could go in that direction.
They literally did that in China.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like I'm worried that like I wouldn't try to unravel too many things too fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I would never propose to eliminate religion. I just restrict it to, if you want it, you have to be like, you can't force it on anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
Like, you're free to believe whatever religion you want, but everybody's free to not believe in it, which is unfortunately not been the case. That people haven't had the ability to not believe. Like, even now, I mean, we're in a fucking mess right now. They want a crystal fascist society. It's just, it's unfortunately really easy to control people when you control what things people believe in that regard. All right, do I want to keep this tag in here? Does this add anything? All right, executive decision. I'm gonna remove the tag. And that's another thing about art. Does this improve your art? If not, get rid of it.
Yeah, I usually try to render to a maximum point of before things start to get worse, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I try to push it to where it's like, well, now I'm just adding things for the sake of adding them, and it's not really helping.
Or adding because it's there.
Right, and I think as when you first start to get good at art, the first thing that kind of works is like adding more detail, right? You can kind of trick people into thinking you're good by like just adding more, like detail, and that's the first like trick that you learn, right? Is like it's just detailed, and people go, "Wow, that's crazy," and then you realize it's like, no, it's about the shade. You know, it's like you as you grow, you kind of realize that real good isn't necessarily like just squeezing as much like things in there. You know.
Japoshi. So I haven't seen any evidence. So unfortunately, um, not for me. But if you enjoy it, like I am totally down with folks collecting crystals. They are cool. They're cool, straight up. Like collect all you want, man. There is no harm in that. Just don't be making like decisions on how it makes you feel.
So,
That's the only issue.
so you're
That's
you're
like astrology. Just like please try not to make life decisions. You know,
I
or at
would
least
I
not make that the entire reason you're making a decision.
yeah, look at them for a little bit, but maybe put them down. And no, no, I do love the crystal people. You know, I do love them. Um,
Yeah, honestly,
my
regardless.
mom, she is like a Reiki person, and I don't understand like how. I think it's just like just being. I think it's just people like look for answers,
Yeah,
and you that's just what it is. I don't bring it up anymore. You know, I don't. Um,
and again, if it makes you happy, as long as I don't have to believe in it, as long as you don't get mad at me for not believing in it, go nuts.
yeah,
That's the only issue I have. Is like you believe what you want to believe, and I'll tell you my thoughts. You tell me yours, but probably not going to change each other's mind in that regard, and that's okay. You know, echo chambers are bad when it is all one person dominating the conversation. So that's really the most important thing you have to look out for. And some person having all the answers is never someone that has all the answers. And there are no easy fixes at all. No easy fixes. There's no easy solutions. If somebody says you just got to do this, this is the bad people's. That's the bad people's.
yeah. I definitely think that there isn't any obvious like solution. You gotta like slowly like work through it until you kind of.
You gotta put the work in. That's anything. Like the rise of AI is because people don't want to put the work in. They want to like, oh, I'm gonna make a ton of money on AI by just putting in prompts and posting it. It's like you're not, but all right.
Yeah, I mean
You've not.
AI. I think AI is
Art requires effort.
yeah. Oh, I agree. I just hope the AI, like, my hope is that those tools get to a point where somebody who's like purely artistic can make a video game because it'll just write the code for you, and you just describe, hey, I want this mechanic to work like this, and then it's like, here's the code, and then you just copy it. And so what I want AI to do is connect the dots for people who can draw but aren't very computer-ish, like super programmer kind of people. And what I want it to do is like connect those dots for people. You know what I mean? And make the artistic people
Yeah.
be able to create further by themselves without needing to assemble a team of programmers.
Well, that would be for me for movies. I'd rather watch the author curate AI prompts for 40 hours and watch their movie version, and then Hollywood's dumbass movie version created through committee that's just soulless bullshit.
Right.
And like the performative nature of that they do is so annoying to me because it's like diversity is vitally important, but they don't care about it and they implement it so badly. Rings of power, like it's an agrarian society where people have lived in the same area for thousands of years. You would have people of all races, but they would be sequestered in their own different area. So your people of the Southlands cast all Indians, people from India. You get so much more history. And the dwarves, you would never have a person of color as a dwarf. They're dwellers. Like make them throw albinos in there. You have the people that are in what's the land? They were in the island. They're isolated islanders. Like cast people from Japan who, like in the past, were isolationists. You got to make diversity make sense for it to have the writers that think they're better than like Tolkien when, you know, these are Hollywood hacks. 90% of them got the job because of who Daddy is. They don't have any life experiences, and they're questioning the writing of J.R.R. Tolkien, like, oh, he could do better. And it's like, no, you can't.
Yeah, it's
And
it's
that's
very.
the problem with Hollywood.
I kind of agree. It's I mean I don't know if I'll ever be able to. My biggest hope, like if when I do my ideas that I told you about, like I just want to make a serialized like fun cosmic war kind of thing. I'm not going for like anything like super hyper. But you're right in that like the modern stuff it's almost unwatchable. I mean it really is like when I started I don't bring up I never want to insult anyone, but like it is god awful. It's
I got through 5 episodes and I'm like, wait, what? The Sildor hasn't been born for like 300 years. Why are you? And then making Galadriel a boring ass fucking fighter was so stupid. She's the most powerful magic user in the entire fucking Middle Earth, and you make her a sorty sweet, annoying girl that so awful. And then Sauron was. First of all, the casting. Sauron's like.
Did you see that trailer where he turned into he turned into a pile of trash and then stuck himself to the bottom of a cart and then like infected somebody or something like that?
Thank God, no.
Okay, yeah, he's actual trash.
No, and then Gandalf is a borderline mentally challenged person.
Okay.
Oh, the Harfoots was another huge miss. Like, I'm sorry, they would not be a diverse people. They're filming in New Zealand. Cast all Aboriginals for the Harfoots.
Yeah.
Make them all Aboriginals. You have the access to those people. That would be so much more interesting than just we're gonna mix all the peoples and casting and
here's my take on it. I think that people like let's say they want to buy the franchise and they like now legally have the right to do whatever they want, right? They want to see like the world that they want to create, right? In what they're doing. They don't. I kind of don't think they even like really the Lord of the Rings and that it's.
No. And same with Witcher. The writers would openly mocking it.
Yeah. And that's what I mean is like I think that this is I think that that's fine. They own the franchise. This is what they want to do with it. But then if somebody comes along and says, I want to make a story that's like, let's say takes place in Belarus and it has like ethnic Slavs, then they shouldn't be complaining. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But they also aren't gonna like that. You know what I mean? They're not gonna like that.
Yeah.
They can't. I also think that they can't understand that like people there's gonna be people who are diverse that can enjoy a movie like the original Lord of the Rings that doesn't shoehorn all that stuff in there. Like they don't. I don't think that everyone like every piece of content needs to cater that way. And I think there is an audience that they can understand like this is obviously based on like Europe, you know what I mean? European mythology.
Yeah.
But they don't see it that way. It just like it's
Now one thing I was cool with was the Witcher diversity.
okay.
Because that is a much more that society. There's people migrating everywhere. Like it is a pretty integrated society. So yeah, it makes sense to have wizards of all different races, and that's a far more high fantasy world. That Lord of the Rings is low fantasy. So and plus in the Lord of the Rings, this is taking place at a couple thousand years after Morgoth was defeated. So everybody has been in the same spot for 1,000 years. Like humans literally can go from dark skin to light skin to dark skin over like 2,000 years. It's happened many times before. Which is wild. Humans and evolution is so cool. I am getting close to done, I think. I will say about the new Star Wars, Andor was pretty freaking good.
What was the Andor one? I honestly didn't. I stopped watching all Star Wars stuff a while back. so I don't remember.
Well, there was. Did you see Rogue One?
Yeah, actually I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rogue One is the, or sorry, Andor is the prequel to Rogue One with that one spy guy that was like ultraviolet. I loved him. Yeah, that movie was good, but there were some elements that were like, this is dumb.
No, I didn't see Endor. Or maybe is that the one? Was there a casino in that one, or am I thinking of the wrong
No,
one?
no, no, that was, God, that was the, maybe there was in the series, but that was the one with, they were trying to steal it. Oh wait, Andor was, it was, you see about the first episode. They're trying to steal from a vault, Imperial vault. It's more like day in the life of the Empire, which I found so fascinating as a storyline.
Yeah. Actually, I saw. You know what Red Letter Media is?
Oh, absolutely.
They talked about that, and I know what you're talking about. But I didn't actually see it. I actually do. I want to see the one you're talking about, where they show the integral workings of the Empire. I'm actually deeply interested in that.
Yeah, no, this was really fascinating because you got to see like what's it like for just the standard rank and file Empire guards.
Yeah.
And then also
like filling out insurance forms.
politicians.
Right, like getting like their insurance forms done for their like medical benefits and stuff like that. How does that work? You know?
Was it quite that? Yeah.
No. I actually want to see that. Like I want to see that. Like them complaining about the rank system. You know what I mean? Like that is actually not bad. I need to see that.
Finished my drawing. Smack dab on the 3-hour mark.
Nice. Looks great.
So cute. His name is King. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, he lost to cancer. But lived till 16, which is really old for a big dog. I think I'm going to.
Japochi says there's a quick fix for putting Discord on your audio to your stream. There's a quick fix for putting Discord on your audio. Oh, yeah, guys, if it's working, I just don't want to mess with it anymore. Like, honestly, like, if things are not super bad, I just don't want to do it.
Absolutely. I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
I am. Oh. Yeah, I think I got a new job. If I do any more, I'm just gonna have it up.
Alright.
That's usually when I know I'm done.
Yeah.
When it's like, I'm just gonna make it worse.
No, yeah, that's kind of like where I am. Is I try to push things to the limit before I start messing it up. You know, as far as rendering and stuff.
Yeah.
I try to max it out, and then I'm like, nope, I can't go further than this without making it worse. So I'll stop here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. We can do it. We should definitely do it again. You know.
Oh, absolutely. No, this is great. It just helps to talk and chat.
Yeah.
I hope.
I hope I can figure out my.
Have fun.
Yeah, I hope I can figure out my technical dilemma of not us being able. You know what? Next time I'm gonna take your thing and put it into Chrome. That's where we went wrong. Is I kept letting it open automatically.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
Yeah, you clicked on the link to open it instead of put the link in Chrome. Okay, sorry.
But anyway, I took your advice and I did record this episode. I'm going to on my screen here, and I'm gonna try to make it like a fast thing and put it on my YouTube and Instagram reel tonight. I'm gonna play around with that.
Yeah. Again, I record just the one art camera, so it's a lot easier to edit.
But how do you? So how do you get it to record? Like, how do you get the recording to just be that one camera and not the whole screen that I got here?
It's a little bit of a pain in the ass. You gotta add a filter. a new scene. So like I have one where it's just filming the art camera, and then I added a filter. I had to look up a whole art walkthrough.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could help you.
Oh no, I'll figure it out. Either way, I can always blow it up. For now, I'll just blow it up and then just take that segment of the video that's the picture. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I had a lot of fun. I super appreciate the collab, and we'll have to do it again.
We'll make it better next time. Thanks for everybody for joining. It was a lot of fun.
Peace.
And if you, we're both up for commission, so if you guys want to message either of us for pet drawings or, boy, that Foros does incredible art. Like if you want a monster from scratch, your D&D character, whatever, he did me in. All right.
Thank you.
Japochi. Thanks everybody.
Thank you, Japochi.